Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Making sure everything is looking okay. There's something that I want to try to get working. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, hey there, Brett. How you doing? The snow is coming down quite a bit around here. Yeah, it started snowing like a few hours ago. Yeah, and it's supposed to keep snowing for the remainder of tomorrow. So hence why this is called the Snowstorm Special. Granted, there isn't anything particularly special about this stream. Let me actually see. Oh, here. Let me actually see how long it's gonna go on for. It's gonna be all day. You had a good swim, neat. Okay, not that. Yeah, it's supposed to snow all day tomorrow, and then it gets into the negative Fahrenheit as well, which is... that's gonna be pleasant. And apparently it's gonna be like that for at least until the 3rd of February. Let me check the radar. Potentially, you have... What does your job entail? Let me check the radar. Damn, this is actually... No, I'm actually checking the radar. Oh, man. No, this radar is not distinguishing by color. Fast food? Well, I work in fast food. There's no way that you're gonna... Well, the store that I work at is gonna be closed tomorrow. Well, it depends on whatever snow emergencies there would be. Okay, there's no distinguishing on this one. None. Can I zoom this out? Yes, I'm aware of that. Why is... Yeah, there's winter... Yeah, that's snowing throughout the north of the system, and then, but down in Mississippi and Alabama, it's like regular rain and thunderstorm, which I guess is to be expected if it's that far south. Apparently even Texas is getting snow, like Dallas, checking the radar, Dallas-Fort Worth is getting pretty heavy snow. If you know, if anyone, or if you remember that one winter weather event that took place in Texas not like a few years ago, people were having trouble. There was a lot of issues with that. And then I remember there was a case down in Georgia where there was like an inch of snow and the people there weren't prepared for it, so much so that some lady had to give birth on the side of the road. So I wonder how Dallas is going to be faring with it, if anything at all. Like all across northern Texas in particular. But depending on if there are any snow emergencies, hopefully you won't have to work tomorrow. Because I know I won't, because I'm pretty sure, yeah. Your mom believes it's a conspiracy that Russian and Chinese hacked our... Jackal, you seem to have forgotten. It's not the Russians or the Chinese. It's the Jews with their space lasers. Don't you know? At least according to all of the Goyim, Kanye, Nick Fuentes, Dick Riders, it's the Jews with their weather space lasers. You know, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Kyle Broflovsky from South Park controls Hollywood. And it's very clear that he's the one that's in charge of the space lasers. Why is this bending that way? Okay, that's much better. Here. arrange myself this way. So yeah, it sounds to me that you need to get your facts straight, because some people just don't. But either way, let me see if there's anything else I need to change this. I want to use a different chat overlay. This one isn't working the way that I would like for it to. But let's see. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I suppose that we can go ahead and just move on. Oh, Jackal, I do have a video that you might like involving the infamous Uncle Walt Disney cartoon being found, uploaded by L Supersonic Q, who specializes in lost media. Knowing you being privy to like older cartoons like the ones that you've recommended before, I figured that you might be interested in something like that. So I saw it, I was like, well, it's uploaded like 2 days ago. You had to count from 10, 20, 30 when you oh, you had to do it that way. I can imagine like keeping track of distance might be something important. But yeah, hopefully I can actually comment on it. Like, I've been in and out of lost media a few times. I don't know if any of you guys are into it, but it's definitely something that I've been privy to for a while. Like, especially some of the more infamous lost media searches that have all sorts of... Some of it has a lot of baggage attached to it. Like, the Backyardigans Me and My Friends pilot is very notorious for all the drama that has been attached to it. And especially with regards to the passing of the creator of the show not too long ago. But, you know, you win some and you lose some, as they say. But I think we may as well just move on. Oh, yeah. It's the only one in the South Island and the rest of them are on the North. Okay. Do you live on the South Island? That's right. We were discussing that yesterday. Yeah, it should be the... Hopefully they'll sell E-Amuse passes, which you can use to save your scores and unlock stuff. They're like... They used to be like $5, but they kind of jacked up the prices for whatever reason. So, but either way, don't be afraid to ask questions. Oh, you're on the North Island? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there's clearly more on that one, but yeah. And if you have any questions about how it works, just feel free to ask me live. North Korea. No, we're talking about New Zealand. We're not talking about... No, we're actually talking about East and West Korea and how Ronald Thump fixed that situation. Only to find out, no, it was North and South, and then we just figured out he fixed all the Koreas. But, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, I need a new chat overlay. This one that I'm using is called Caster Labs. And for some reason, it only resets itself the South Korea of Australia. Oh, Lord have mercy. It tends to save previous, well, actually what happens with this, chat overlay is that it starts from the top and then it goes down to the bottom, as opposed to other overlays that actually start at the bottom. I need to work on that, but I can work on that on my own time. But I wanted to warm ourselves up with, hopefully I'll actually be able to comment on some stuff. I have to remember to stay hydrated. So I've heard. Yeah, I don't know if Brett's aware, but I'm sure he doesn't necessarily keep up with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm aware of the things that are going on in both of those places. Which is unfortunate to say the least. But on that subject, we have a new type of hate comment that just dropped, and, I kept saying that I wanted to look at more normal gaze videos, but I've been hesitant to because I'm sure there are some people, like, in and around might have a problem with these guys, and by in and around, I mean the DDR community, but I actually do want to look at more of their videos because they're relatively entertaining. We might only look at this first section of the video. I might start doing what Metatron does and just only react to parts of certain videos, and like anyone watching the stream, or if this is clipped, it would give people motivation, because I do unironically want to make sure that people are supporting the original creators. I get a little, sometimes I might get a little too self-conscious about that kind of thing, but I'm a absurdly small creator, so I don't think I'm taking away views from anyone. But either way, I want to see what this new... Apparently, we are now afraid of the Greek island of Lesbos, otherwise known in South Park as Labo, that one bar that the Persians tried to take over and put fancy carpeting in. And so, I want to see... I saw like the first few seconds of this. I don't remember what she said, but I might have to move my avatar out of the way. Let me... No. I tried... God damn it. Here. This is what I wanted to do. And then I will put it back if need be.
You cannot...
Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that the volume is... Well, it's on my side.
You cannot convince me that Renee Good's murder was not a lesbophobic hate crime.
Lesbophobic. Because this is not Labo. This is Lesbos, as, what was it? Janet Garrison, back when he had his sex change.
Homophobic not good enough for you?
Oh, it's not. Apparently it only applies to men now.
In the body cam footage, it is very clear to me.
There was no body cam. She's clearly has not researched this case. Like, I even was
But she's already concluded.
But
She's already... I don't even know who they're talking... Someone named Renee?
It
was a hate crime.
That it was a hate crime, but I guess she
Okay.
can't. She already came to a conclusion, and she can't be convinced otherwise.
She didn't
No, that's the thing.
even come to it. She just started with it.
Yeah, she just.
I guess life must be easy if you go through it that
You know
way.
what?
Actually, let's put this back on.
Hey guys, welcome
Hey
back.
guys, welcome back. Hold on. Sorry, I don't want to take too much away.
Back to Normal Gaze, where we take on LGBT insanity.
Insanity.
I'm Brad Wolbo, here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys? I'm getting stoned this weekend on camera.
I can't get stoned anymore.
Yeah, only if you become a member now to support our hard-hitting investigation.
Wait till they found out about Lebanborn? What the hell is Lebanborn?
Journalism. So, Clarkson, we're going to talk about the anti-gay hate crime that's all over the news the last 2 weeks. Surely
I don't know. I don't keep up with the news.
you saw it.
And what is this story?
What do you mean? It's been like the top news story.
If I haven't seen it, it probably never happened.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
It's in Minnesota.
Of course it's in Minnesota.
What day?
With ICE.
With ICE. I still don't know what they're talking about.
I forgot she was gay.
I still don't know.
Exactly, because it's not relevant.
Yeah,
No, that's the thing. No, I know we made jokes about that before. It was like people making their sexuality their whole identity.
I'm confused.
But according to TikTok, yes, TikTok, the ever-reliable source of information.
What we witnessed with the ICE killing of Renee Good in
I have no idea who that is or why they're relevant, but...
Minnesota, that altercation that ended up with her, and whether you think she tried...
Oh, it's that thing. Oh, is it that? Is it?
To run him over, try to drive...
Oh, yeah, I know about that. That was like, how long was that? How long ago was that? Like a week or two ago? I remember Asmongold was talking about it. It's like, I don't know what I want. I just know that either she was trying to run that ICE agent over or she wasn't. But apparently there is evidence to suggest that she was trying to. But then when he caught on, she tried to drive away, and then, you know, I guess one could argue that that the ICE agent was acting in self-defense, but I can't really prove one way or the other. I don't know what that lady's intentions were. Your plan on going to work through the snowstorm is to whistle at any ice on the road. Hold on. I need to reset this because of course I do. You heard he did get internal bleeding. Is that so? Was that before the quote-unquote shooting took place, or was that after? But yeah, you talk about blowing a whistle at the ice. Actually, it's irrelevant. I won't talk about it right now. I was gonna say that I can't whistle. I'm 28 years old and I can't whistle.
Away, and then he pulled out his gun, and we're not going to get into the whole debate about it.
Yeah, I don't want to deal
But
with that.
apparently TikTok thinks it was a hate crime because she happened to be lesbian.
I didn't know. Is she? I remember I remember the reports talking about how she was apparently a mother, but if she was also lesbian, then I'm not. Well, I mean, I know that. Like, I know that adoption is a thing, but I didn't hear that she was lesbian. I just knew that. All I knew was that she was a mother. That's all I knew.
Are you surprised?
They're going to ruin this. They're going to ruin this because a lot of conservatives are on Renee's side when it comes to ICE training, but they're going to turn this into an identity politics
Oh,
thing.
they're doing this, and they're actually literally progressives are so good at having the public come around to an issue.
And then they ruin
They ruin it. Like they did this with BLM.
They did do that.
Everyone was supportive and concerned. Then they started burning down cities. I mean,
The DDR community supports BLM.
we're like, okay, no, never mind.
And then when they burned down the cities, if you said they were burning down
They
cities,
said you were racist.
You were racist. Yeah. If you watch one of the videos, you can hear her wife say, "Drive, baby, drive." Okay, well then. Well, if that happened and that if they were trying to run down that agent, then I guess the agent would have been within his right to take them down. But yeah, regarding BLM riots, I know that South Park has made a few jokes about that. Like Cartman was hanging out with Token, and it was like Token's family, and it was like, okay, when do you guys go out and start disrespecting the flag and stuff? So, but I do know that there was a certain clip that I remember seeing of like, why is it of someone asking a BLM rioter asking, why is it okay for you guys to loot these random stores? And it's like, it's redistribution of the wealth. But then there's a bookstore that's conspicuously not being looted, and they're like, is there a reason that you're not going after books? Isn't reading important? And I don't even remember what the response was.
they said you're racist. It's like they oh my god.
Oh my god, I need to talk. No, if I do make a Twitter or a fucking Blue Sky of all things, no, I'm definitely going to confront the DDR community about whether or not it's okay. This isn't even a Boondocks episode. I feel like that they should. I mean, there was supposed to be a revival, but then, like, John Witherspoon died, and then Sony decided that it was taking too long, so they can never really get around to making it. The reboot, which is very unfortunate because we need it now more than ever, especially with things like Carmelo Anthony that happened last year. They would definitely make an episode about Carmelo Anthony.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Anyway, let's be educated about how this was a lesbophobic hate crime.
It's a lesbophobic hate crime in South Park against the LeBeau bar.
You cannot convince me
Okay, here, let me move this back down, even though she probably doesn't even deserve the spotlight.
that Renee Good's murder was not a lesbophobic hate crime.
It's not. Now that we have the context, it's not. If anything, it's most likely just self-defense.
A lot of us are talking right.
I'm sorry.
And
Was
here we go.
homophobic not good enough
And
for
here's
you?
the preview. No, it's not.
Lesbophobic.
You had to make.
She's very apparently the ice agent is very afraid of the island of Lesbos in Greece. It's very clear that he's never going to set foot on that island.
Is that a word? I bet it is a word.
They have words for all of. They have if it exists, there's probably a phobe of it.
Women, man.
But also, this is like.
No.
Sorry. I'm just kidding.
That was a lesbophobic hate.
Oh no! Oh no! We need to. Okay, gulag right now, Clarkson. Clarkson needs to go to the gulag immediately.
No, I'm very lesbophobic, actually.
Lord have mercy.
Besides the normies that are lesbian that watch us.
He's not talking about me. At least I don't think he is.
I do find it interesting to open up a sentence and say, "I'll never be convinced about this." So, like, you're saying facts and evidence don't matter to you.
To quote Hassan Piker, facts are still facts.
Yeah,
You're like-
you're literally saying that you are so arrogant that your beliefs cannot be changed.
That's like actually concerning.
Yeah.
Right now.
Imagine presenting evidence to the contrary, like stone cold hard evidence that like it's caught on tape. No, not AI generated, like even a confession from whoever it is that did it or didn't do it. And she's like, "No, it's not real. They're lying."
About the very
Yeah, I can't whistle.
elements of this
Oh, it's not enough that it's lesbophobic. We have to bring up bitch hatred as well.
situation, but I feel like we are not talking enough about the lesbophobic elements of it.
Oh my god, no. Listening to this lady talk, I can't.
Because they don't exist.
Well,
No, it's not bitch hatred. No, whenever they use this word right here, it's so overused that it's lost all of its meaning. So I don't use it anymore. Because whenever they are saying that term, it's really just it's referring to people that call out women to like women who are like genuinely bad people. You try to call them up and then they'll accuse you of being hateful of women, and it's like, no. We are calling you out because you're being a jackass, not because you're a woman. And they do this all the time, like within Hollywood, among other places.
okay, what elements of this were misogynistic? I think we need to start there.
I guess because he called her a bitch after shooting her,
Did he?
maybe?
Maybe, okay.
I don't
that's
know.
Fair, but like I call everybody a bitch.
No, we have to call her a bitch. Trust me on this one, Tom. I've done the research. Now go ahead. Because not calling Tom's wife a bitch would be disrespectful to him, and a pimp named Slickback is not able to do that. I mean, I'm a bitch. I'm a self-proclaimed bitch, and I know that.
And maybe straight men do use bitch more for women.
I guess, but like,
I'll sit on that one.
it's not, staying on topic, it's not lesbian.
And no, here's the thing. Yeah, to the bionic hand. I don't know. Here's the thing. No, whenever Riley uses the term bitches, he uses it as a general term for women. And so he uses, because the thing is, I don't know where I'm going with this, but Granddad is gonna have so many bitches in his grotto, like Hugh Hefner got, that's what Brothers is gonna call him.
She wasn't like driving away like, I eat pussy. Like, that's not what she was doing. So
I think
how-
the wife, though, and I guess it wasn't
Oh,
really
the
a
wife
wife,
was
but like
there.
the
Sorry,
female
just
partner
Oh,
was
good.
there. But I really just don't believe that
Well,
was
how
the
do you
ice
know that they were
urchin's concern.
partners?
I think because she said to her, drive, baby, drive,
Oh, I think Jackal mentioned that.
or whatever.
Did
but
sh-
like,
okay, so that's two accounts of that.
I'm taking L after L on this conversation.
I
Yeah.
don't think that the ICE officer was motivated by them being lesbians, and
I highly doubt that he knew that they were lesbians.
you actually have to provide evidence of that, whereas you're starting at the unfalsifiable premise that it must be true, and then lecturing us about it.
Because as far as I'm concerned, all he was thinking is that his life could have been in danger and he had to act accordingly.
Yeah, it's
He
all
probably wasn't
presumptive.
thinking
That's
about
all it is.
sexuality
Also,
at all.
this is the type of bitch where it's like,
Don't call her a bitch.
Oh, yeah. No, we have to. And that's when you gotta... Actually, I won't finish that sentence.
where it's like she'll be policing lesbophobic hate crimes. She'll be like, "What is a lesbian?"
Really.
Right.
And she
Right.
would say like, "Non-men loving non-men, but he him
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
count
yeah,
as
yeah.
lesbian."
Exactly.
Okay, we gotta have all the buzzwords.
Exactly. Or like
Maybe spend more time policing the insanity of your own freaking.
They can't. They're incapable. The Buzz Lightyear movie was banned due to a lesbian kiss. I thought the Buzz Lightyear movie was banned because people really, really didn't like it.
No, because if more people
Just
do
as a
that, then we'll have
movie.
job.
Yeah, actually, maybe don't.
No, keep doing.
You'll still have OnlyFans.
Yeah, I will.
No, he will not.
Go get a job. Oh, don't even go there, you whore. Oh, you are a whore.
Oh,
Sexual worker.
He's finally come around to my term. I'm a
Really?
sexual worker, not a sex worker.
I'm using it ironically.
No, he's not.
Let's listen.
okay.
Misogyny is an intrinsic part of lesbophobia.
And what makes it different from... And then homophobia in general is just... What?
And I do think the fact
Is it misandry?
that they were a queer couple plays a huge factor in the situation. And
I don't think it has anything to do with the situation.
plays a huge factor in why this man decided to target them. From the body cam footage, it is very clear to me that this man identified that he was armed.
There was
Okay, so
no body cam.
Not body cam.
So that
footage.
tells me that you have not researched this at all.
she's probably thinking of the... If it wasn't a body cam, I'm assuming it's like some third party that was off on the side.
No.
Because I sat in
It was
paralysis.
cell phone.
His cell phone that he was holding with the gun, which I have a problem.
Oh, so that's a...
Because no police officer would ever do that.
Right,
when
you're
trying
not
get
supposed to
somebody
be.
out. You don't
yeah.
take out your phone, stand in front of a car, and then try to. That doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
Oh, did that actually happen?
But she's clearly has not researched this case. Like I even was.
But
talking-
she's already concluded.
But she's
It was a
concluded.
She's
hate-
already concluded. She doesn't
Yeah,
need...
it was a hate crime. Like
No. Her source is that she made it the fuck up.
when this first happened, I sent a voice note to Brad. I sent it to a few other people whose opinions I trust, and I'm like, I don't know what conclusion to come to on this because it's just there's so many moving pieces.
So many moving
but I guess
parts.
she can't. She already came to a conclusion, and she can't be
Well,
convinced otherwise.
she didn't even
No.
come to it. She just started with it.
Yeah, she just.
She already had the conclusion before even researching. Because, like, in the same way that Banana Joe's dad from The Amazing World of Gumball was waiting for the Star Wars sequel before they even announced it. So much so that he missed his wedding and his son's birth.
I guess I like this. Life must be easy if you go through it that
You know
way.
what? We come after these
Yeah.
people, but
Why do the work and actually do your own research when you can just craft a narrative in your own head?
they must be very happy
Blissful.
because I'm over
really.
Blissful ignorance.
here struggling, trying
Me
to make.
too.
I have a genuine fear
I-
of being wrong.
I genuinely sometimes some of the complicated issues.
Yeah. Look at these people look at a serial killer. Like, here's why their indiscriminate choosing of victims wasn't really just how victims was actually this and that and that and this and this and that. Yeah. No. If that serial killer happened to be identifying with the opposite sex, then they would think that there's nothing. Then they'd be guilty of nothing except being that.
I can see both perspectives, and I don't know what's right, and I am it's eating me up inside, and it's like I could just be blissfully naive and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Same-
And just enjoy life.
same way with like I could just become like a MAGA cult person. Not that they're all like that, but some are, and they're
Yeah,
like,
some of them.
oh, whatever Trump says today is what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I guess we do need Greenland.
The Greenland thing is kind of crazy. I mean, Greenland, well, the whole Greenland thing, it would be interesting to have it be part of the U.S. I mean, technically, like within, I don't know exactly how it works, but the people of Greenland have the option to, like, vote for, like, independence from Denmark, but they kind of have to do some referendum for it first.
Couldn't have
Yeah.
pointed on it to a map yesterday, but like that's the other gender of this, right? The
He
two
just deserves the
genders.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean it's nice. That's the thing. You know what? I'm actually I'm reading Amy Coney Barrett's book, and she's talking about being like a judge, and it's interesting hearing a Supreme Court judge talk about how they identify cases and decide them. Versus when I always listen to like people on the House floor who are just very opinionated. There's just a
Oh,
stark
yeah.
difference between the two mentalities, and I would say that we veer on more of like the judge mentality than the House mentality.
And it's notable how much more reasonable judges on both sides, justices,
well, except for maybe that one Obama-appointed judge.
and how much more civil and thoughtful they are than the elected representatives.
Correct. Yeah, it's like it's a level of intelligence thing. I
Yeah, it's like people complain about the exact like. Actually, I can't word it right now.
We ate with that.
think. Yeah.
Arguing with a lesbian couple, and that they were not complying with his demands, and he decided to hurt them for it, which is how so many lesbophobic hate crimes play out. Something we saw in this body
Examples?
cam footage that happens so often in lesbophobic hate crimes is a lesbian couple, and particularly a masculine lesbian, standing up to the homophobic.
Masculine
When I
lesbian. You're gonna roll against something outside jurisdiction. Yeah.
saw him arguing with Renee's visibly masculine presenting partner, that is when I was certain that this man knew that they were a couple and wanted to hurt them for that reason.
No, that is not why. At least as far as I can tell.
So what you just admitted was that with them existing as lesbians, there's no interaction that could have taken place where you wouldn't have concluded it was a hate
Correct.
crime. Because you said, as soon as I saw a man talking to a butch, I knew it was a hate
Because
crime.
if you're
Is that an actual term for like a basically a tomboy lesbian.
A lesbian, and if you're a straight white man.
Yeah, that's right. It only applies if you're a straight white man. If this was a black man, then I don't think she would even be talking about this.
You have to just sit there and lick the feet of whatever minority is in front of you.
Yep, it's pandering. It's pandering, and I don't the term virtue signal is being overused in my eyes. I prefer the term moral grandstanding.
Never argue with minority.
That's basically what it is.
You're homophobic.
In fact, he should have
It's grandstanding, and it's social brownie points, as they say.
just thrown himself in front of the car.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
Well, he
should've
kind of
just-
did.
Oh,
I mean, he did.
I mean, he chose
He
to
went
position
against highest
himself there.
protocol
I agree. Yes.
to be in front of the car.
I listen. Not against criticizing him. I
Yeah.
just don't think he did a hate crime.
No, I don't think it
definitely not a hate
was.
crime. Like, does homophobia mean anything to you?
No, and
Not anymore. No, it's another one of those buzzwords that's lost a lot of its meaning.
we can reiterate the same points, but it's like the boy who cried wolf phenomenon. It's like
Yeah.
there's actual hate crimes. But
Yes.
when you call everything a fucking hate crime, then people don't listen. Let's just roll the rest of this.
The
Okay.
type of vitriol that comes from a man who feels so insecure and emasculated and
Oh, shut up.
threatened in the presence of women who he knows are gay. I feel like the
Oh my god. You were swimming today and yesterday. You managed to do everything. Nice.
lesbophobia is just so clear and so obvious here.
So clear where?
It's not I don't know. I've seen the footage. Well, I haven't seen the entirety of the footage, but I have seen people comment on the footage, and nobody ever brought up the fact that there was a lesbian couple in the car. This was my first time hearing about it.
You've been yapping
You
for
have
over a
given-
minute.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Brett. I was very tired after playing
Zero
DDR.
evidence. Zero
What is-
evidence.
Make sure you get your rest.
So clear.
I want to
It's
see her
there's no evidence, but I guess that makes it most clear.
go in front of a court and argue this point. I want to see her get cross-examined by the opposing side and argue this point with any shred of evidence.
We need Tim Pool on this. At least I think that's who it is, the guy with the beanie.
But the media is ignoring it. Yeah, they're actually
Yeah, they're not. It's irrelevant.
doing journalism and not just running
Yeah, because you
unverified
can't
shit.
just say, "Oh, they're lesbian, hate crime."
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen anyone talk about it like that.
Minimize that Renee even had a wife at all. I think that this is such an
Because they actually weren't married, by the way,
They weren't married?
I think.
Oh, were they not?
I'm not 100% on that, but I believe they were just partners.
Minimize. Nobody's minimizing it.
Yeah, if they're not married, then that would be. You could say that's slander. It's like, she wasn't my wife. She was my partner.
It's just that it doesn't matter.
It
It's
doesn't.
not that relevant.
No.
So,
And most
Not
people
now.
in the country are on the side, I would say, are on the side of Renee Good.
yeah.
So the idea
Are they?
that we
Asmongold isn't.
need to focus on the fact
And
that
Asmongold is supposed to speak on behalf of the American people.
she was
We should just
lesbian.
make it about
Her
identity.
being lesbian has nothing, like, she was, in the eyes of many, unjustifiably murdered. So
Not
why do we need
Asmongold.
to talk about her being lesbian? That seems like such a
Progressives
smaller
are like,
issue.
oh, we're winning on this issue. Let's make it more identity
Let's make it about lesbian.
focused.
It's like, oh, somebody, this is in their mind, somebody just got murdered.
All right.
Yeah, but you're not focusing enough on the fact that she's lesbian.
Yeah, someone got killed, yet. Yeah.
And by the way, guys, I grabbed one video here. I saw so many pushing this. This was
I'm sure there's a lot of them, which is why I don't have a TikTok, and I don't intend on streaming on TikTok either. Apparently, YouTube has rolled out an experimental vertical streaming feature. I might try that out in case the streams show up in live feed, but I don't know. Like, you need a whole, like, other setup for that, and I don't really know how to do it.
not just one chick.
Oh my god.
Let's try to roll the rest of this without interrupting her. But if she would just stop saying annoying, we wouldn't have to keep pausing her.
I-
such an important
I know.
element in this, and it is my belief that if this situation happened to a gay male couple, people would immediately be able to recognize more than they are right now. They'd be able to recognize, oh yeah, this was homophobia. Oh yeah, homophobia is probably a factor.
Sure it is.
But because
No, but for some reason she has to make a distinction between guys and girls. What happened to equal rights for both genders? You don't do TikTok at all? Yeah, TikTok is no.
people are kind of just ignoring that and just kind of brushing
I was gonna say, what happened to gender equality? Don't you think that homophobia should apply to both male and female?
that element under the rug when we just can't let that happen. We can't let that happen because this situation is just an example of so many situations like it, and this is just what happens when you give the type of men doing these things immunity.
What if it was a woman who did it?
They don't have immunity.
They don't.
Not in fairness
Although
to her.
JD
Yeah, he said they have immunity, which
they don't. It is very hard
Yeah.
to sue ICE agents.
I
but
mean, they're
they don't have
government
criminal
workers.
No.
No, but they do have qualified immunity, I'm sure.
Yeah.
From
Is
civil,
that so?
civil lawsuits. But regardless, that's another aside. Do you believe
Oh,
that if
hold
it
on.
was gay men, people would be assuming victim hate crime?
I have no
Maybe, but they'd
idea.
Still be wrong? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't.
No, if I was if I was a victim of anything even remotely similar to that, I wouldn't say that it was a hate crime. I mean, if I was actively trying to hurt somebody for whatever reason, not that I would ever do that, but if that were to happen to me and then somehow it got all high profile and people start considering me to be the victim, even though I don't know where I'm going with that, but I wouldn't consider it a hate crime.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think they probably would have shown more force more quickly if it was a man.
Actually, yeah, he might actually have a point, which would be misandry.
They I don't know. I don't think that the ICE agent would run up to her car and try to open it if there was a man in it, because they'd probably assume more danger with men.
Well, you
So
know,
if anything, I would say that her being a woman may have. I don't know. I don't think it would have made that much.
well, you know how I said it's not just some TikTokers. I forgot that I prepped this.
Oh God.
A congresswoman also made this suggestion.
Okay.
Let's listen.
Please be a.
Ms. What comes after this? Oh, we will look at this next section, but there's one more section after this one about something that might be irrelevant. Well,
Republican.
yeah, let's see what this is.
No.
Of course, it's not a Respublicano.
Nope.
As a gay woman,
Okay, here. Let me move this back. I don't know, Mr. John.
I have not cried yet over Renee Good because I know if I do, I'm not gonna stop.
Okay, so TikTokers aren't the only one peddling the idea that it was a hate crime.
Oh, shut up.
Say to gay people
Yeah.
across this country and trans people across this country, your lives are not worth less. And to immigrants, your lives are not worth less.
Well, here's the thing. For some reason, people like this don't want to make a distinction between legal and illegal immigrants, but I don't know where I'm going with that.
And people of color, your lives are not worth less.
How do you know that? What if I, as a gay person of color, want my life to be worth less than other people? What if I want that? Isn't this supposed to be the land of the free? I want my life to be worth less than yours because you seem to be so important.
No matter what, your government
Stop clapping. I'm not clapping for her.
is telling you. And I know my colleagues, many
I know what my government is telling me. My government isn't telling me anything. I'm just sitting here like a bump on a pickle.
you know, I call myself a scrappy little for a reason.
Well, you're definitely a scrappy little shit.
I'm not gonna be intimidated.
Can I intimidate you as a gay person of color?
I'm not.
So you have a congresswoman. It's
Okay.
actually, I think, the leader of the Democratic Women's Caucus. is
There's a
claiming
Democratic, well, I'd imagine there's a Democratic Women's Caucus.
that this was had something to do with being lesbian and queer, and the government saying your life is less valuable.
I don't know anyone who said
And it's
that,
all
though.
just-
Well, I do think there's an argument to be made about the government not caring as much about immigrant lives, whether they're legal or not, with the way they responded very
Oh,
quickly.
sure.
I don't
but
know.
she talked about
But
like
talking about
queer
being gay, it's like
LGBT.
you really want to make this about you, don't you?
Yes, she does. It's her yes.
Yes.
It honestly,
I might low-key have a speech impediment.
you know what my trigger is? It's when, and I've realized this as somebody who's in the middle, it's when any person in politics reacts emotionally to anything and just evades all forms of critical thinking or logical reasoning
That just sounds like TikTok.
when presenting an argument in front of a bunch of people that has to do with legislation or whatever a court case is. It pisses me off so much because, like, as a lesbian,
Oh, he just admitted that he's a lesbian.
this is like when people, and I was about to make a post about this, when people go, well, you're invalidating my experience. It's like, well, yes, your experience is anecdotal.
Yeah, I'm not going to... Thankfully, I've never had to deal with anything like that. I mean, maybe once in middle school, but that was before I formally acknowledged myself, let's put it that way. But I've never really been victim to anything like that, aside from maybe some generic teasing, but that's about it.
It is the
So
weakest.
it might not be
it's the
valid.
So
weakest
I guess I should say that I guess I'm just grateful in that case.
form of evidence there is.
Well, in my experience, taking sugar pills cured my headaches. It's like,
Sugar water?
Like-
You mean I wasn't even worthy of being a guinea pig for the government in order to test their new medication or whatever? I don't know where I'm going with that, and I don't care.
That's not.
Okay.
No scientific process or study relies
that's
on
my
anecdotal
truth.
evidence.
My truth, yeah.
My truth is like one of the most unhinged phrases that was ever normalized in our society.
I've heard this term be used by a cartoon reviewer, and I'm like, I'm at the point to where I would like to say it out loud, but I'm not going to because right now is not the context for it.
Yeah.
But these people have decided that it's their truth.
It's
that it
their
was a hate
opinion.
crime.
It's an opinion.
opinion.
It's my... No, yes, this clip. Wait, this isn't the TikTok... No. This isn't the Vine version where the faces are all... filtered. If that makes any sense.
By the way, the Trump administration...
Okay, yeah. Is that it for that section? Okay, yeah. I kind of want to finish it up here. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, either through the stream or as a... If I decide to clip it, I don't know if I will, but... if you want to check out this second half of the video, feel free to do that on your own so that you can show them some support, and thank you. Yeah, this was interesting. All right, I may as well check... Okay, as we're gonna move on, I may as well check out this video right here about the not to jump straight from something like drama related to something a lot more casual, but I'm going to do it anyway. I wanted to take a look at the infamous Uncle Walt Disney cartoon being found. I don't really know anything about this cartoon or why it's so infamous or why it's Walt Disney's uncle of all things, but before we get into it, make sure you check out L Supersonic Q's original video. Like, if you're watching this on the computer, be sure to open it up in another tab. And yeah, let's go ahead and see what this cartoon entails.
What a way to start 2026.
Yeah, let's go. No, I'm sure for some people the year is starting out very poorly, but I'm sure for others it's starting out quite nicely. And I guess for Supersonic here, things are turning out quite well. I mean, in my life, things are turning out pretty okay. I mean, I still haven't recovered from a certain situation that happened a few months ago, but it's slowly getting better.
Not only do we already have a nice collection of high-tier finds so early in the new year, but one of those finds happened to be one of the most coveted and well-known pieces of lost media from the past couple years.
Okay.
If you haven't been following main lost media too closely, you might be thinking such a topic is related to a more modern piece of work.
Yeah, when it comes to some of the more famous or infamous cases of lost media, people think about, like, the Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Live wrestling match. I don't remember the official name for it, but that was supposed to have been, like, televised and live streamed, but nobody seems to have a copy of it. And then I mentioned me and my friends earlier in the stream, and then there are several other, like, pilots and stuff.
Like Slamfest 99 or
Slamfest, that's what it is, yes.
or some cartoon pilot.
Yeah.
But actually what we're talking about is an old piece of animation that dates back to the 1960s.
Ooh.
It has remained a mystery for so many years. Myself and many others started to doubt that we would ever see it, for what seemed like circumstances out of our control. Over the past couple years, this search has been a roller coaster ride of emotions and controversy.
I don't know anything about this, so I'm ready to get on this roller coaster. Granted, I'm kind of afraid of roller coasters. I've been on 2 before, but yeah.
That have finally led to the full animation having been posted online in January 2026.
Okay.
You might be asking yourself,
Uncle Walt.
what's so special about this piece of animation anyway? And why did it take so long to acquire? Well, due to an overwhelming demand that I give this topic its own spotlight,
I
I have
figured.
decided to pull it from the Next Found Media video and discuss the history of Uncle Walt right here. How it slipped
Oh, it's just called Uncle Walt?
through our
All
fingers
right.
so many times, and how it ended up finding its way online. I'm sure over the past couple
You've not been on a roller coaster? Oh, yeah.
weeks as of the time of this video,
No, I don't know anything about this, so I'm eager to see what it is.
you've probably heard a lot of different
Oh, wait. I've seen this pop up in my recommendations before from Blame It on Jorge. Okay, I do recognize that thumbnail, though.
stories and anecdotes about Uncle Walt. Or heck, maybe even you remember when I covered the topic before
Foul.
in previous videos. It is a topic I was actually surprised to see a resurgence for at all, especially since I had always considered it to be an old, archaic article from the old wiki. First having been written all the way back in July 2013. In
Damn.
fact, for the longest time, we didn't even have any visuals from the animation at all.
So we just knew of its existence, but...
So readers would always be greeted by this image of the piece's creator,
Oh.
Robert Swarth,
Okay.
in front of this bright green background. Not to
So
mention,
that's all we know about it.
there was
Or all we knew about it, at least until now.
little information about the short online at that point, with most of it being from other websites that discussed it. So from what we knew, Uncle Walt was the title of a 1964 cartoon made by Robert Swarth when he was a student at UCLA as part of an animation workshop. The premise of this animation is that it's supposed to be a dark take on the happy world of Disney.
Oh, so like Winnie the Pooh's Blood and Honey,
With claims that
1964.
the
Yeah.
animation depicts a graveyard sequence
Perry. Oh, that's the year your mom was born?
with
Nice.
headstones of Perry the Squirrel
She's as old as this animation.
and her family, centaurs from Fantasia
Oh, jeez, is that
working in a red light
is that like is that an actual or am I mistaken?
district, and most famously, the seven dwarves gathered around Mickey.
Why do I feel like I've heard something? Oh, you know what this reminds me of? There was some lost audio recording of like some employees at Disney were reviewing a copy of Bambi, and they overdubbed. They did a joke dub of it in the style of like Snapcube, where they made a whole lot of raunchy jokes, and they were laughing at all the while. But then some higher ups at Disney discovered that they were making raunchy fan dubs of Bambi, and they ordered that they cease. And I think they got rid of the recording. I don't remember the full context or the full story.
In a mouse mausoleum that parodies a scene from Snow White itself. Now, just from this short summary alone, it piqued the interest of a lot of animation and Disney fans, who wanted to witness such a dark piece. But back in 2013, it seemed unlikely that anyone would. At that time, the only documented public screening of this short took place at the American Film Institute in June 1972, as part of a 50 Years of Animation event.
So is this like a one-time only event?
This genuine rarity of the film, on top of the fact that the animation was so old and mysterious, gave it that lost media allure.
It definitely is. That a screenshot from it, or is that just a generic one?
Over time, as lost media became more
I
widespread
like overnight
online,
trips.
more people would come across this article, where it would gain more recognition and interest from fans. But all that interest certainly didn't come quickly. Like I mentioned before,
I'm guessing the interest is more gradual.
unless you were someone who browsed the old wiki or were just really interested in Disney lost media, there's a good chance you hadn't come across this topic at all in the mid-2010s.
I don't think I don't even know if lost media was mainstream in the mid-2010s. Maybe it was.
From what I recall, the topic would often find its way into dark or banned lost media YouTube videos,
Would it be considered banned?
but it was never something that got talked about a lot. In my opinion, Uncle Walt always seemed to be in the shadow of other dark Disney content, like the Mickey and Minnie adult animation.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
And considering we really had no way to get our hands on it, there was never really much to report about, other than what the wiki article stated. Just like with most independent creations that were shown very briefly publicly, Robert
Biggest slate.
Swarth was likely the only person who would have had a copy of it, And
Yeah.
if they hadn't released
No, that's the thing. Whenever it comes to lost media searches, they always try to find, like, either the original creators, or they at least try to get in contact with, like, various studios. And either they happen to have a copy of these media pieces, or maybe maybe the media is, like, genuinely lost. Or in some cases, they have it, but they don't want to release it, such as in the case of the Johnny Bravo pilot. The creator of Johnny Bravo wanted to keep the pilot like a secret as a means of maintaining the mystery, so to speak.
it by now, it was probably because he didn't want to.
Oh.
Actually, we did
Wait.
get confirmation of that from him, according to a Reddit user that contacted him years ago. He had no
Okay, so this is literally the sort of like a repeat of the Johnny Bravo scenario.
plans to ever release it. Not to mention, this exchange
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
happened years before Lost Media became as popular as it would eventually be.
Ah.
So in the context of the modern
Yeah, these days, with things like Discord and all sorts of old forums, it's much easier to try to track down media.
day, it seemed even less likely that he would be interested in sharing it now that more people would be viewing it. The only other place that was sourced with a copy was the Academy Film Archive, but you can't view it, and there are no other images or information we can get from it. And this is basically the way Uncle Walt would stay for around a decade,
Damn.
just being one of those mythic pieces of lost media that you'll probably never see. It largely became forgotten. But maybe it was specifically because of how buried the topic became that it had that resurgence at all in the following years. Because in 2024, seemingly out of nowhere,
Oh.
the topic would be brought up in the Lost Media Wiki forum.
No, he mentioned that it was like that article goes back to 2013. That is definitely over a decade.
In a way nobody expected it to be. In January 2024, a thread simply titled Uncle Walt
Pretty inconspicuous name of a thread.
was posted to the Lost Media Wiki section by Buddy Epster, and stated, "I recently learned that there's an upcoming DVD made by a company by the name of Thunderbeam, which features many Mickey Mouse shorts, official and unauthorized. In the description, it mentions that it contains this short film.
Ooh.
They link a listing
So I'm guessing this was one of their first major leads.
of the page, which lists a product called Public Domain Mouse Adventures,
How would it be public domain?
with a pencil sketch parody drawing of Mickey as the cover image.
Well, actually, yeah, Mickey Mouse is officially in the public domain, but it's specifically the version from the original Steamboat Willie.
And if you scroll down on the listing, there is a description that reads in part, as the first year of Mickey Mouse
Okay.
cartoons will be in the public domain as of January 1st, here's a fun special set. I will include some really great reels of trailers from 35mm Technicolor prints, all three 1928 Mickey shorts, additional mouse adventures from other studios, and some other complete rarities, including the infamous Uncle Walt
yeah.
short.
Now, the question is, did it actually contain this short, or was it just to sell the product?
At the time, I wasn't sure what to make of this. I hadn't heard of this company before, but the seemingly passing mention of Uncle Walt did not sound any alarms for me, as it's clear they were not trying to use a piece of lost media as leverage alone to try and sell the set.
I don't know. That was my assumption.
Apparently not everyone in the thread
It could also be a scam. You never know. But if it's real and has the short, this would be an incredible find.
had heard about them before either. But fears were quickly quelled, as Thunderbeam was indeed a legitimate company, who
Okay.
is known for their high-quality
Tom and Jerry.
releases of old
You remember when we looked at... I remember when we looked at that one Flip the Frog short. Oh my god, we need to look at more of those. I remember having a lot of fun with it. When everyone in chat was all like, enjoyed watching my avatar dance around like this.
and hard-to-find cartoons. And it seemed as though,
We should definitely look at more of those kinds of
in this
things.
case, they were simply celebrating early Mickey cartoons entering the public domain by doing a special DVD, along with Uncle Walt, for some reason.
Even though that technically wouldn't be in the public domain because it's from the 60s.
I guess just because they could.
Just because they could. You know, I've been meaning to use an excuse like that for a lot of things, but right now is not the time.
After the air was cleared, fans were ecstatic.
What
They
took
were
so
finally
long?
going to get to see this piece of lost media after over a
No
decade
way
of
it's
waiting.
found.
But a pressing question soon came to the forefront of the forum.
Alright.
Where exactly did this copy of Uncle Walt come from?
It must have come from somewhere!
How was it that someone had found one copy after a decade without
Yeah.
so much as a sighting or even rumors that anyone in the wild had a copy?
Who knows?
It was
Maybe there's just what tends to happen sometimes is that there might be copies of certain things just sitting in a warehouse or in a storage room just waiting to be uncovered.
certainly intriguing to say the least, because as far as we knew, Robert Swarth was the only person with it.
Yeah.
The only hint we got at the time was from the Blu-ray forums. I had a feeling we weren't going to get a clear answer due to the elusiveness of the short, but no matter the case, it seemed like it would only be a matter of time before it was unearthed. Everyone locked in their copies and waited for the April shipping date to arrive.
Okay, so this was like 2 years ago because it's 2024, but we'll
And we
see.
waited,
And we waited, and it was May, and nothing happened apparently.
and waited, and waited, until eventually
Oh.
April became late May. And fans started questioning where the DVD was,
Whether or not the DVD even existed?
as no updates had been given at that time. Someone in the forums claimed that Thunderbean release dates are to be taken with a grain of salt.
It sounds like when people, like, back during the days before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, people were clamoring about the release date, and with Amazon saying that it would release at the end of whatever year it happened to be, saying, oh look, it's going to release on this day, even though that's just a placeholder date.
As production delays and timing can be an issue, but that at that point it was unlikely copies would be going out in May. Yoshi Killer 2S added some insight to the situation and claimed that originally the set was slated for the fall, but because of how well it sold,
So due to the high demand, they decided to mess around with the date?
Thunderbean tried to expedite production.
Oh, okay, alright.
The higher volume of orders, combined with the fact that it was actually up for pre-order
I'm guessing they just weren't expecting something like that to
longer
happen.
than most of Thunderbean's other sets, suggested it was just a matter of being swamped with demand. Shortly after, another user stated they had reached out to Thunderbean themselves, who said the finishing touches were being put on the sets and that orders would begin shipping very soon.
Okay.
Given all of the information we received up to that point, on top of the fact that
They must be some sort of indie company, because I know that sometimes it could take that long. I mean, these days when it comes to like AAA gaming, it can take upwards of 7 to 10 years, but, you know.
mail was slow in the US around that time, given the holiday weekend, I was convinced we would be seeing them in early June. Thunderbean's website even updated to reflect this change. There was nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Then a few more weeks would follow,
Okay, and let me guess, there were more production delays.
when the shipping date was changed once again. to July.
Alright. Well, they did say technically it was supposed to happen in the fall, so I'd bet that they would have to wait till then anyway.
At this point, people were beginning to wonder if it really was just production delays that were causing the issue, or if there was something else behind the scenes that was preventing production from actually being complete.
The Tom and Jerry come out? I have no idea. Maybe I could look that up. When was Tom and Jerry created? 1940 is when Tom and Jerry was made. So I guess that answers that.
Did. My biggest fear was that someone or something was holding up the clearance on Uncle Walt actually being pressed to disc.
Maybe there's some sort of copyright licensing issue.
Since we still didn't know where the copy of it came from.
Right.
Though ModWallet claimed it had been sourced from a private collection.
I bet it was.
At this point,
Yeah, they won't be public domain for another 12 years.
the discussion
Yeah, in 12 years, Tom and Jerry will be public domain.
kind of devolved into two
No, not 12. 14 years. It's In my mind, I was thinking it's 2028. No, it's 20. We're currently in 2026, so it won't be public domain for 14 years. Yeah, when that happens, then there's going to be a Tom and Jerry horror movie. Just you wait.
camps. those who believed the DVD was coming out, and those who believed the delays were just leading up to an inevitable cancellation. And all this was right before the date was pushed back once again to August.
Yeah.
Which is when Buddy Epster updated the thread once again. As of August 3rd, Thunderbean said the set was almost
Alright, good night, Jackal.
ready for shipping, and another user got a similar response. So with the amount of time spent waiting for the set running out, it seemed like it would only be a matter of days before people either got these in their hands, or,
Yeah, I guess in this case it's any day now.
or they were just pulled entirely. Surely Thunderbean couldn't keep pushing back the date from month to month. In addition to the fact that they were claiming the set was nearly complete, which just didn't add up after a 5-month delay.
Who knows? Maybe they were having production issues?
Something was going to have to give. But little did we know it wouldn't even be from Thunderbean itself, and instead an eBay auction
Okay.
that changed the story entirely.
Was it available on eBay? No, I saw we looked at that at the beginning of the video, and I'd assume that would be the case.
In August 2025,
And very well.
only a few weeks before Thunderbean's public domain Mouse Adventure set was supposed to ship, a physical film reel of the long-lost Uncle Walt short appeared for sale out of nowhere.
What if this is the copy that Thunderbean was able to incorporate?
And I mean literally nowhere. I don't think anyone, myself included, was prepared for such a piece to resurface at a time like that.
I'm pretty sure you could say the same thing about a lot of lost media.
The auction itself was very clear with what it was selling. It wasn't trying to be sneaky about what the item really was, and the sellers themselves had...
Oh yeah, that reminded me of the whole... We saw a video about Logan Paul's Pokemon scam and how they had accidentally gotten a box of G.I. Joe cards, and they thought that it was going to be Pokemon cards from like the original set, but the story of how it was acquired was very, very shady.
a lot of feedback, so everything seemed to check out. Not only that, but the most notable takeaway from the listing was a collection of never-before-seen brand new screenshots
Okay, so these are legit.
from the reel, proving both its authenticity, but also that the reel worked. Like I said before,
And is that Minnie Mouse wearing 2 different size shoes?
words could not describe how
Oh yeah, you were there when we did that.
refined this was at the time. But questions immediately began to circulate about the ramifications of this sale. Firstly, I was curious to
No, that was the question that I was asking. I was wondering if if Thunderbean sourced the short from whoever the original seller was.
know if this copy had any connection to Thunderbean or the many delays in getting the public domain Mouse Adventure set released. The timing of this being put up for sale just weeks before the set was supposed to ship felt like way more than a coincidence to me.
Right.
I postulated that it was possible Thunderbean might have run into production issues with their set and wanted to offset those costs by selling the reel itself ahead of the set's release.
Were they like seeking to make a profit so that they could use that money to release the set?
But then the question on the opposite end of the spectrum reared its head.
Let's see.
If this was not connected to Thunderbean's copy at all, should we even go ahead and attempt to win it in the first place?
Uh-oh, hold on. Give me one moment. Okay, there we go. It's back.
The Lost Media community knew for certain at that point that Mouse Adventures had been in production since January. And my worry was that if someone from the community did get this and
Oh, I'm starting to put it together. Maybe someone had already acquired this, and like they were planning on putting this as part of the DVD collection. But what if whoever had it took it or something, and so they weren't able to complete the DVDs?
released it ahead of the DVD set, it would essentially be stealing Thunderbean's, well, thunder,
Huh.
Sure, Thunderbean did not own Uncle Walt legally or anything, but I don't think it would have been a good look at all to beat them to the punch like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I mean, people pay good money to pre-order those DVDs and only for the reel to get posted on eBay.
Thunderbean had delayed their set so many times. A release was not...
Yeah, it's one of those cases. It's like, do we want the delayed gratification or do we want the instant gratification?
...at that point. So my feeling towards it was maybe attempt to win the auction, give Thunderbean more time to release their set, and then if it ended up getting canceled anyway, we'd have this as a backup. And while this was my general sentiment towards the situation at the time, the finances and bidding process were not handled by me at all, and I was told to keep quiet about it.
Okay.
So to avoid causing any conflict, I just sat back and let those who had
We just sit back, chill out, and watch the sunset.
...at first handle it. I'm not sure how much money I would have dropped on it. I think there was...
I don't know how much. I mean, I'm not particularly interested in finding lost media. I just like it whenever it's being discussed.
...some brief negotiations about pooling funds together, but the bidding was ending only an hour or so after I had heard about it anyway.
Okay.
So I don't know who found this first or how it even remained a secret for all the time it was up. I guess maybe that could have been because there was certainly nothing in the auction that mentioned Thunderbean, the rarity or desirability of the short, besides a copy and paste section from the Lost Media Wiki article. So unless you were looking for this, I guess maybe you wouldn't have come across it. No matter the case, I watched the auction end for around $170.
That's not
and was
bad.
informed that the wiki did not end up with it.
Oh.
Then I turned back to Thunderbean.
Okay. I wonder who did end up with it, and I wonder if that person is the one that released it.
And hope they can deliver. Nobody else in the community at the time came forward claiming they had secured this copy. So all that was really left to do was wait for Thunderbean, which, like I said before, also quelled any worries I had with controversies that might have been caused from the wiki having the reel ahead of Thunderbean's release. And actually, signs were looking very promising.
Just wait!
At that point, a user in the forums named Thunderbean, which we did verify was an official company account.
Oh, they had an account here. I know you folks are waiting for this with bated breath.
Posted even more new screenshots of the restoration work they had done on their own copy.
Oh, so this is a screenshot from the...
This was followed by an announcement on their website that copies would be shipping September 1st.
Okay, and another delay. I mean, they did say, remember, they did say that it was supposed to be in the fall.
Clear visual progress, a new release date, and maybe even some urgency in getting their set out first. Now knowing that a new copy is floating around there out there with an unknown party, no matter how you looked at it, it seemed like only a matter of time before those DVDs would ship. There was nothing stopping Thunderbean, and if there was ever a time to do it, it would certainly be now.
Yeah.
Until it didn't happen.
Okay, I guess that should have been expected.
And shit hit the fan.
What happened?
In late August...
Oh, this is a different recording.
Just a couple weeks after the eBay auction, Thunderbean pulled the public domain Mouse Adventures listing from their website.
Oh, no.
And went as far as to issue refunds to everyone that had pre-ordered it.
Well, at least they gave the money back, so good on them.
That was it. The release was canceled.
That's so unfortunate.
Uncle Walt would not be coming out. This
is practically what happened with the Kingdom Hearts mobile game that was supposed to release last year called Missing Link. That was supposed to be very important to the overarching story, but they ended up canceling it because due to some restructuring at Square Enix. Like, it was supposed to be like a Pokemon Go inspired game where you would go out and like do stuff, the GPS type thing, but unfortunately they didn't think that it was worth it.
Flabbergasted the Lost Media community as well as myself, because it seemed to happen for no reason.
Did we ever get any reason later?
For 9 months we had been following the updates with...
Imagine just waiting for that long. Which, yes, I bear witness to something like that.
This release. And then suddenly, following restoration screenshots and an eBay listing with a reel, they pulled it.
No, and we were so close to it too.
Speculation ran amok at this time, with no one knowing for sure why this happened. My
They won't get sued. Okay.
theory at the
So there was no copyright dispute.
time was that it had something to do with Robert Swarth behind the scenes, considering we still didn't know of his involvement with this release or any knowledge of it. I thought it was possible that after the eBay auction made the rounds, Robert became more privy to the information about Thunderbeam's set and stopped it from coming out.
There could have been a cease and desist. Who
Hell,
knows?
maybe he even bought the eBay reel in an effort to collect every copy that's out there.
Does eBay keep track of buyers like that?
Because remember, he said before he did not want this getting out.
Yeah.
But that was just my thought, and everyone seemed to have their own 2 cents to throw at it, which quickly fizzled into controversy and drama.
Okay, let's go. Let's get some juicy, spicy drama now.
The decision to pull Uncle Walt was not only a turning point in the effort to get the animation, but it created an outlet for directionless anger to unfold.
Yep, no, it's one of those things. It's like when people get angry about something, they need someone or something to blame, even though it's something that would have been out of their control, and they might end up blaming people that might not have anything to do with it.
Most notably at the Lost Media Wiki and myself.
Oh, okay, so... okay.
Because it just wouldn't be a juicy...
Yep, all else fails, blame the content creator that does this almost for a I don't know if he does... I don't know if Supersonic does this for a living or if this is just a hobby, but yeah, when all else fails, blame any generic, not necessarily authority figure, but I guess influencer.
Lost media controversy without pointing the finger.
Yep.
For some reason, the court of public opinion decided that Uncle Walt being pulled was the result of our rhetoric to not support the public domain Mouse Adventures release.
Who was
Apparently,
saying
the public
that?
had decided that users on the Lost Media Wiki forums were conspiring to buy one copy of the DVD, rip it, and then share it between each other.
The hell? Who the hell? There's no way that was in circulation.
And also that by me talking about Uncle Walt on my live streams, I was somehow disrespecting Thunderbeam and disincentivizing viewers to not actually buy the DVD.
What the hell? Was anyone saying anything like that?
I literally have no idea how people came to this conclusion, other than the
No, that's bullshit.
fact that they wanted someone to be angry at.
Yeah.
I remember going on Twitter that night and having to make several defensive tweets clearing the air for
Oh,
what was
my lord.
really happening, because it was just chaos. And you might be asking, where was Thunderbeam during all of this? How were they reacting to it?
No, we need to know.
And well, they were getting their fair share of hate too.
I bet they were.
Not in the same way we were, but more so outright being blamed for pulling it.
Well, they never gave a... Well, I know that they didn't... they'd probably have to give a reason,
People
you
were
know.
furious at them, and it took a while for any statement on the matter to be released.
And now they're gonna face the consequences. Shut your dumbass up.
Like I said before, from my observations, it seemed like the public consensus had largely been that Thunderbeam pulled it because they caught wind that the wiki was going to rip one copy and share it. Which is not true.
Yeah.
The only public discussion that ever happened about Uncle Walt within the Lost Media community was in this thread, and nowhere in it was this statement expressed. Sure, some people do passively mention that they hope someone posts it, but it's never suggested that we were going to conspire to undercut the efforts of Thunderbeam.
And even if they want... Oh, I can't believe you just watched 6 hours of a... I'm not gonna comment on that, Rody.
People
But
like
thank
to
you for joining.
improperly frame this sentiment with that of Buster Bear, another lost cartoon that Thunderbeam had planned to release.
You thought you had lost a point of sanity. Okay.
Which
So apparently something like
was
this happened
obtained and
before.
leaked early because someone contacted the company and lied about having an illness.
What?
That's not even remotely close to the possibilities of Uncle Walt finding its way online through one of us buying a DVD. And this is even exemplified by a comment made from Thunderbeam back in June of that year, making no mention or plea that we not rip the contents.
Okay, so they weren't even worried about that kind of thing. They had a product, they wanted to sell it, they knew that people were eager to buy it, but they weren't able to... At least they gave all your money back.
Literally, the third comment in this thread makes a passing statement that they hope someone posts it.
Well then.
And
No, the fact that the company is on board with wanting this media to be found.
reality of the situation is, no matter how badly you don't want to believe it, even if the Lost Media Wiki or any of its users were not going to rip this whatsoever, someone else was going to.
Someone has to do it, as they say. And anyone who's kept up with my channel will know who they are.
There was no way this was not going to make its way online, and Thunderbean must have known that. And indeed, it did. Because later that night, after much of the drama had cooled down,
Now what?
Thunderbean, who is headed by Steve, made a return visit to the Lost Media Wiki thread, and explained what exactly had happened.
Okay, let's find
Through
out.
a couple of different posts. They read in part, "The decision was only made a few days ago, and was a hard decision to make. We were all set to release the set with it on there. I would have said something much earlier if there had been an earlier decision. We're losing everything we had invested in the film with the decision as well, so there is a financial loss.
That's some...
Wish I could say more to stop any speculation. This is literally the most I can say without revealing the reason."
Okay, so they can't actually say what happens.
I know that
I wonder what happened behind the scenes
there was
then.
disappointment and anger because of this. I'm sorry for that. I can say the decision was not directly related to the wiki community or anything posted here.
Okay, so it's not the wiki, and it's not Disney.
It's also not related to anything involving the Disney company directly. Additionally, it was mentioned that they did have an excess of orders,
Okay, so they had a surplus, and they were willing to get them out.
totaling around 240, which is higher than the usual 80 to 100 they get. So even if the public wanted to believe the wiki
Now, my question is this company even still active?
or myself disgraced
I mean,
Thunderbean's efforts, we still help the company sell more than double what they usually do,
well then, well, yeah.
just by talking about the project. It concludes by stating that Thunderbean will not disclose where their copy came from, how many other copies are out there,
Okay, so it's not the same as the one that was sold on eBay.
or if Steve knew who bought the eBay one. The thread would linger for a couple more weeks, but largely be unproductive. And that was basically it. The anticipation and hype surrounding Uncle Walt that seemed to build over the months dissipated in September, and
Alright.
largely fell back into obscurity from which it came.
Well, we've got 6 minutes left in the video.
Sure,
So
the
we're gonna
topic
find
was
out.
still on people's minds, and I would check eBay for a new copy when I remembered, but it was largely a footnote in 2024 Lost Media
Yeah.
by the end of the year.
I'm guessing there weren't any developments in 2025.
But as is a common theme in the search for Lost Media, you never know when or how something is going to show up.
No shit.
And would you believe it,
Wait,
following the August 2024 auction, a new chance for the taking would
oh, there's another one appeared.
appear. In February
Okay, so there was an update in 2025. Well, I'll eat my words.
2025. Once again, to everyone's surprise,
Now the question is, did anyone in the wiki secure this?
yet another Uncle Walt reel showed up on eBay. But unfortunately, things would not be as quiet with this one as the first one.
Okay.
Unlike the first reel, which came up at a time when the topic was still largely unknown, following the immense amount of drama and coverage the topic got, it was now a valuable, publicly recognizable piece that had eluded release twice already.
Alright.
Surely this third chance was
Surely third time is the
not going
charm.
to come easy, and oh boy, it did not.
Okay, then.
Already,
It already ended, so nobody was going to buy it?
the starting bid was close to the final selling price of the first reel.
Yeah.
And this doesn't even consider factors such as if this was the first reel being resold for a profit,
Yeah.
or if it's a completely
I mean, if it was a collector's item, maybe.
new one that showed up. Or maybe Thunderbean finally decided to sell theirs and wash their hands of the whole ordeal. According to records, the listing climbed up as high as $700
Damn.
before being abruptly pulled and then
4,000?
relisted for $4,000.
I mean, if it's really that valuable, I don't know.
This became known as the infamous
Yes, no interest if paid in full. 6 months on 149 plus with PayPal credit. Yeah, no thanks.
$4,000 Uncle Walt. Because at that point, it definitely seemed like this was a backdoor deal, and that was by far the consensus.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was someone else who's unaffiliated with the wiki.
Someone with a lot of money,
Someone who has more than what they need.
knowing the desirability of the short, probably decided to send the seller an offer to end the auction early and to buy it outright.
Lord.
And it worked, because that copy was gone quicker than it was listed.
Good lord, no. Just when you think you got it, it was never there to begin with.
And I don't think I even saw it before it sold.
Aw.
It felt more than likely that every copy of Uncle Walt would be scooped up this way.
I guess, no, someone somewhere, be it at Disney or somewhere else, must have caught wind about the Lost Media Wiki's search for this film. And so we're like, I wonder if I sold my copy, I can make a whole lot of money.
And I think at that point, everyone was just so tired of the shenanigans like this that they gave up on it.
Aw.
For nearly the entirety of 2025, Uncle Walt was forgotten.
Okay, so that was the only development.
But then, almost a full year later,
Literally last week, right? Last week? No, 2 weeks ago, as of the making of this stream.
in January 2026,
Literally 2 weeks ago.
that film reel from a year prior would show itself again.
Oh, it came back?
Except this time, it wasn't in the form of an auction. In fact, it wasn't even a physical copy. And instead,
Wait.
it was the actual short.
Oh, okay, yep. They just straight up, whoever this is, I don't know if this YouTuber was the one that bought. I'm assuming that this is the guy that bought it. I don't know.
A digitized, full copy of Uncle Walt had resurfaced
And there it is.
online without any preparation or warning on the
Oh,
YouTube
jeez, that
channel
leg.
of Unky NPC. This blew our minds and quickly made the rounds in the community, and my channel comments too.
All right, then. Should we look at this? I don't know. This was supposed to be part of a public domain DVD collection, but I don't know. I don't want to get copy claimed.
Just as I never expected to see the original reel back in 2024, I couldn't believe a copy reappeared without any strings attached. In my shock, I started
Just
to
for
wonder
free.
if this was
Only with the price of an internet connection and something to watch it with.
even legit at all, or some kind of elaborate hoax, as fake Lost Media mixed with
Fake AI Wolfram Zap animatronic. Yeah, no.
AI are becoming a huge problem nowadays. But nope, it was indeed authentic.
The story of Uncle Walt. For now.
Unknown to anyone at the time, Unky NPC was the buyer of the $4,000 listing,
Okay, I figured.
though it was not
No, whoever you are, Unky NPC, you've got too much money.
actually sold for $4,000, and instead a
I'd give you $850 to find. Yeah.
best
wait.
offer was accepted. According to Unky, the short actually sold for $950.
Okay, so oh my God, imagine that. Maybe they made it 4,000 in order to make it seem more important than it really was. So we only sold it for a little under 1,000.
The listing being so high just to ensure that they would be the one to purchase it.
Okay then, so we had to do some deals behind the scenes.
$950 is not even that far off from the $700 it was already at.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised the seller didn't let the auction complete its run.
Damn.
But this
No, this guy still has too much money.
was just the beginning of the story, because all throughout
Well, he's got a fancy. I'm assuming that's either a carpet or a tablecloth.
2025, when we thought nothing was happening with the film, it actually was behind the scenes.
Okay. Just a casual Mung doll plushie in the corner.
Unky NPC released a video on their own channel documenting their search effort and gets into the specifics for how everything went down.
Okay, so maybe we should look at that video.
But to summarize for our timeline, after the short was obtained and digitized, they reached out to Steve from Thunderbean to discuss a possible release.
Okay.
This was not only to ensure that the right channels were navigated, but it was also to get Robert Swarth himself on board.
Okay, then.
And in doing this,
No, did he get... Does he know about it?
it actually revealed some valuable information that we had only speculated on years ago.
Okay.
According to Steve during this exchange with Unky, yes, it was Robert all along who was hesitant to allow Uncle Walt to be released in public domain mouse adventures.
Oh, okay, so that's what happened. And I guess, Thunderbean was, I guess, told not to tell anyone.
I'm not surprised to hear that Robert did know about the project all along,
But he didn't want it to be released, I can
but
imagine.
I'm not sure at what point in the timeline he became aware of it, or at what point in advance that knowledge influenced the decision to cancel it. Though now there was a new opportunity to do it again, especially since Robert had a lot of other lost and unreleased work. The original plan was to collaborate between Unky, Steve, and Robert to get
Okay.
a release
Alright, we're doing like a three-way to get all of this stuff released, or just a few of it?
happening of all of Robert's work.
Okay, so now he's, apparently Robert now wants to release all of his works?
But unfortunately, as explained in the video,
Oh, wait a minute, I'm guessing there's a roadblock.
that just didn't quite come together
Aww.
after Robert stopped responding.
Okay, so I guess they still can't do it?
At that point, Unky felt like they had no other choice than to release the short.
Well then.
And that's how the copy finally made its way online. In a question
I guess that's the only... Okay
asked
then.
to Steve
When all else fails, just... I guess Occam's razor.
after its initial upload, he reiterates that he had nothing to do with the upload himself, proving that the collab really didn't happen.
Alright then.
Now in 2026,
But now we have it.
we have Uncle Walt online.
It all started in 2013, nothing really happens until 2024, and then a whole lot of drama ensues.
13 years after the Lost Media Wiki article was first created, and 2 years after the first hints that Thunderbean had a copy were posted. The search is over,
Yep.
though it's unclear if Thunderbean will ever go through with a release of their own.
Well, so I guess we'll see.
As Steve had done a lot of work restoring his copy already, or what reaction Robert has to all of this unfolding. Perhaps an official release is still possible, as I'm sure collectors would support a physical release of it,
Yeah.
as it's a more tangible way to own the media, even though the short is now accessible to everyone. But what is certain is that the short's unearthing was definitely unpredictable.
Yep. You could say the same thing about a lot of Lost Media.
Includes one of the most infamous pieces of animation within the history of Lost Media.
Alright, no, that was fun. Yeah, that was fun. I might leave this as a VOD exclusive, but either way, make sure you check out the original video on your own. But, I will be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. Let me fix this real quick. Well, let me get comfortable first. Yeah, I don't know nothing about no 6-hour cheese rolling tourney, but I think it's about time that we move on a little bit. I have 3 more videos that I wanted to take a look at. We'll look at this next one that was just posted by Atozi about a TikToker crashing out for facing years in prison. We were talking about earlier about how I don't really want anything to do with TikTok, and I know that Brett in the chat does not believe in TikTok. It simply does not exist. The same thing can be said about the people of Twitter, or really just Twitter in general, because Twitter is not a real place. But I want to see this TikToker crash out. I want to know what she's in trouble for, and for what reason, other than doing, I'm guessing, some generic, degenerate TikTok shenanigans. But before we get started, make sure you check out Atozi's original video. Like, you could open it up in another tab, or something like that. If I clip this, the link will be in the description. But I want to see whether maybe she's going to be one of those I'm the victim kind of things. Or maybe it's going to be one of those. So let's go ahead and get started.
This TikToker got arrested on felony fraud warrants after spending years going viral for not being able to stay out of controversies. And this all starts on December 17th.
Okay, so we're dealing with some fraud.
When Ashley Lopez Trevino was arrested in Venus, Texas for 2 active felony warrants out in Ellis County. According to arrest reports, one of the police officers spotted her sitting in a white BMW while responding to a different call. The officer then recognized her, yelled her name, and asked her to step out of her vehicle. And I guess, unlike to many of the stories we cover, she actually did comply.
Okay, so she's not one of those. So she's not a Karen that thinks she's above the law, but she probably still thinks she's above the law. Just not to that extent, where if anyone's seen, like, body cam footage of, like, Karens and stuff resisting arrest, among other things. We did look at that one video about the gas station pizza incident.
And was handcuffed.
Hey, come over and talk to me. Do you have your ID?
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's going on?
You understand you have an active felony warrant out here for your arrest?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, starting strong with some classic felony fraud. Let's go.
What?
I actually am mentally here to comment on everything, and I've got my sip of water.
Stand by and I'll let you know.
Can I go pee real quick?
No. 70.
No pee. You can just pee your pants. We don't care.
Yeah, so I guess that's just a side effect of being an internet person. If
Yep.
you get a warrant out for your arrest, they might actually just recognize you on the street. She was
They ain't gonna recognize me. I don't. This is because this isn't what I really look like. Or is it what I really look like? I'll let you guys decide.
then booked into Ellis County Jail, and it was announced then that the warrants were actually for welfare fraud and healthcare fraud.
Welfare fraud and healthcare fraud. Are we gonna get daycare fraud? She doesn't look Somali.
And those are both classified as state jail felonies in Texas, by the way, which is the lowest rank when it comes to a felony in Texas.
This is a felony warrant out of Waxahachie PD.
For what? For what? I haven't done nothing.
It says fraud on.
That's what they all say.
I'll give her more. I'll give you more details once it's confirmed. Okay.
I swear I haven't done nothing. Do you have the right person?
Yes.
Yes.
No, it's Ashley Trevino.
Yes.
I also have Ashley.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the person with the felony warrant.
For what?
We just answered that question.
Once it's confirmed, we'll give you more details.
Come on, getting out of a newer luxury car to get arrested by fraud is such a bad look.
It is. It's such a bad look.
5 Series or 3 Series?
I don't know what that is.
Nice BMW.
I don't care about luxury car brands. If it works and drives, then it works.
Regardless,
Simple as that.
Also, what's wrong with BMW? I mean, I love BMW drivers, but why?
I don't know nothing about BMWs.
Why are the stereotypes so true? Actually,
Driving a Subaru featuring a lesbian couple.
there's a lot of cars that have various stereotypes, and they normally are true. But anyway,
Oh, that reminds me of a short that I watched about car brands portrayed by King of the Hill, and apparently Subaru was all like, it was the scene in the episode where Hank gets a new truck at the end, where he was having troubles with his old truck, and it was like, he checked this morning, there was water in the exhaust. And apparently that describes a Subaru, although I can neither confirm nor deny that being true.
After looking into this, it looks like over a 5-year period, so I guess from about 2019 through mid-2024, she allegedly used deception to receive public assistance that she was not eligible for. And
okay, then.
I guess use some of that leftover money to buy a BMW, who knows?
Oh, no, using welfare money to buy junk food, basically.
That's all alleged, though. But speaking of alleged things, she also allegedly failed to disclose income in order to receive SNAP and Medicaid benefits. And that amount tied to the case falls between $2,500 and $30,000. So that's quite the wide range right there. And
I bet her car isn't even enough to pay off all that.
As I said previously, these are technically the lowest level of felonies in Texas, but they're still felonies. And state jail felonies can carry anywhere.
Oh yeah, there's like a difference between a felony and a misdemeanor.
From 6 months to 2 years each. So she spent the night in jail and was released the next day after posting a $15,000 bond.
And how much of that $15,000 bond came from the SNAP benefits?
As of mid-January, there haven't been any new charges announced publicly, and the case is still working its way through the system. And the reason this came up on my radar is because so many people were celebrating about this arrest. Apparently,
oh no,
people are saying like this is kind of like justice. Because
no, I don't know who this lady is or what kind of TikToks she makes. I'm just here for the drama.
Because Ash Trevino, she does not have the best online footprint. And
okay, let's see.
Lightly.
Lightly.
So, if you don't know who Ash Trevino is...
I do not know. Ash not caring that her daughter just threw... Wait a minute. Why does this seem familiar? Why do I feel like that I've seen a caption just like that before?
I didn't know until today. I guess you're lucky, because I've now been cursed because I know about it now. And now, I'm about to curse everyone.
No, I swear, I feel like I've seen that before.
That sounds awful. Nah, I'm not gonna curse you guys. I do nothing but bless you guys with information that you may not want to know. But anyway, her online footprint is pretty much a nightmare. Like, you can spend ages on her live streams finding moments after moments of bad decisions and flexing designer items.
Okay.
Which, you know, is all more iconic considering that she was arrested for fraud. But I digress. So
yeah, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those items were purchased from the benefits.
Sum it up.
Because you know, you gotta learn, you gotta sit there, you gotta buy my new book, because that way you can lose the weight and get the husband with the benefits.
A social media creator who
Ash explains why she pulled her daughter hair. Well, grammar, daughter is missing an apostrophe S. Ash said TikTok is the reason why she doesn't have her kids.
has a lot of clips spread around.
Her daughter asked if she's live because she's being nice for once. Oh no. Wait, is she an abusive mother?
People are just genuinely shocked.
Because I mean, judging from that first short that we saw, I'm assuming that she is.
By what she puts on camera. But the biggest thing that people dislike about her on the internet is how she does her parenting. Because
okay, then. Yes, I've had like 20 CPS cases. Yeah, I wonder why if you ignore your daughter vomiting.
There are multiple clips where her kids are right there when she's arguing with people online, oversharing way too much.
Not being bothered, her daughter eating lettuce now. What kind of lettuce?
Personal stuff.
Because if it's iceberg, you could argue that that's empty calories, but...
And spiraling out live. And somehow, in more than one moment, the kids sound like the adults in the room. Like...
I bet. So it's like your average South Park episode.
You know, they have to go to their mom and be like, Mom, please log off. And this is coming from teenagers. When the teenagers in your house have to be the adults, you've kind of failed them.
Question. Do you have beds?
Well, I don't live with my mom.
Well, that's a start.
But at your mom's house?
No.
Oh, good lord.
And
she's giggling like a bitch. No. No.
Going to
No. My mom would never let anything like that happen to us. Never.
Tell you. I'm going to give you money for I want.
Don't give the kids money. Don't give her the money.
A bed, 2 mattresses, 2 of them. I want a headboard and 2 nightstands. I'm going to order that before you leave this house today.
There's a story behind.
And what are the odds that this lady's going to use those things for herself?
That, okay?
Please tell me
what's the story?
Why your children don't have beds yet.
Because my mom was actually going to go look at a furniture store.
Okay, so Your mom is trying to take care of your kids, even though you are the one that should be taking care of your kids.
Because I don't go anywhere publicly.
Bruh. No, you should. Well, I don't know.
At all.
Because you're just that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally. No, like I really don't. Like if I go out, I'm gonna get noticed.
Well, because you do obscene things, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, no. And if I don't have my security guard, I'm not going.
She has a security. Really? She can afford a security guard, but she can't afford to give her kids beds?
Anywhere. My mom actually told me 2 weeks ago. She was like, or my dad said that he told my mom to go to a furniture store.
You need to be doing that.
And I would give him my card info because here's my card. I have money. But
oh yeah, watch them buy something else instead, just to teach you a lesson about giving random people your card information, even if it is your parents.
Yeah, she's rich.
No, I'm not.
I can show you the
You say you're not rich, yet you can afford a bodyguard.
Louis.
But
Granted, I don't know how much the bodyguard is getting, but you know.
Literally.
Gee, well, yeah, I wonder where some of her
Gee willikers.
her money came from.
I wonder, could it be...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can order beds to the house. Like,
he's actually making a really good point. You don't have to go anywhere.
what is even going on here? Yeah, I have money, but my mom didn't go get the beds for them. Like, I feel...
Now here's my question. Have they been bedless since they were babies? Because if they don't have beds now, that implies that they never had beds before, like at all. Have they just been couch sleepers this whole time?
I feel like I'm losing brain cells just listening to her talk.
I never abused my daughter.
You never, and you explain why you pull your hair.
What I said was, I would get mad at her, yes, and I pulled her hair, yes, but I never abused her. I never.
I just noted she has some rather thick eyebrows. I don't know if that's like mascara or something, but those are thick.
Hit my kids, you guys. That's one thing y'all need to understand. And the only reason I pulled her hair was because she ran from me and I tried to grab her.
Okay, yeah.
And instead, I grabbed her hair. So it's like, you know, like, I never abused my kids. I never hit my kids. If you ask my kids if I hit them, I don't hit them. That's why they don't listen to me.
That's why
don't hit my kids. I just pull their hair when they
it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud like that.
Try to run from me. Why are they trying to run from you? At least
that's a real good question.
Her kids apparently live with their grandparents.
Well, the grandparents were the ones who wanted to get the beds. Or, no, she wanted the grandparents to get the beds. She didn't want to get them herself because she doesn't know that you could do delivery.
And Ash, I guess, will just go live, say something wild, people will react exactly how you would expect, and then she'll act shocked that the internet is reacting to her. To the point where...
Oh, yeah, pretty much. It's like, no, you go... No, this is the point that Normal Games was making in that video about the girls with the lip and boob jobs. It's like, if you didn't want to get made fun of for the way that you look, just because of the plastic surgery that they got, and that they were complaining about, oh, they're saying mean comments. Well, if this lady, this Ash lady, is doing all this ludicrous stuff in the context of her children, then it's no wonder people are going to be talking shit.
Now she has compilations of her, I guess, grade A parenting skills here.
They cannot prove that I'm an unfit mother. Yes, I've had like 20 CPS cases.
Yeah.
We're ghetto. So good.
And is she getting wasted right now?
Yo, mama be acting like a teenager, okay?
Yep, I can tell by the design of the bottle.
That's my mom, my child's mom. Get out of here.
Mom, I don't want party dancing.
Yep, and this is the one that he was showing earlier.
Yeah.
No, if I threw up, or at least if any of my siblings threw up, yeah, my parents would be the first to know about it.
And of course, when called out, she just doubles down, explains why everyone else is wrong, and then immediately makes the situation infinitely worse for herself. And then it's just like a rinse and repeat. She also has this habit of turning criticism into content. And if people are mad...
I mean, when it comes to, like, illegitimate criticism, if you're, like, just making content that you like enjoy and you're not really hurting anyone or anything and people are hating on it, you could hypothetically turn that into content. That's what a lot of people do. I know that's what the drama slop sphere like that Asmongold and Pegasus and all of that, they'll do that as well. But when it comes to something like this, you can't really use the criticism to make content out of it, because you're she seems to be a genuinely not great person.
That's content for her. If people are concerned, that's also content, I guess. Which is why when the news broke that she's been arrested for felony fraud warrants, I feel like the internet...
And she's just... and she was completely confused.
Went on a victory lap.
Let's
go.
So
again, if convicted, each charge could carry up to 6 months to 2 years in state jail facilities, served day for day, plus fines. But of course, she couldn't lay low after arrest. No.
Nope, she had to go. She had to go to TikTok and complain about it.
Oh, she immediately went straight to social media to talk about it.
And she's going to make it seem like, oh, she ain't done shit.
How y'all like my mugshot though? I was
fresh out of jail.
Like trying not to smile.
What was your mugshot?
Cause I'm like,
if that's not already your mugshot with all the fucking mascara that you got going on.
He was like, you can fix your hair. I said, okay. But yeah, like they can't.
Like they can't do that. I ain't done nothing, man.
Hold me down, what though? Like, the haters are gonna prey on my downfall, and I'm.
Okay, yes, let's go. Yeah.
I'm a fight this.
Oh my god, why are her nails so long? I just realized that. I mean, I noticed it earlier, but I just now wanted to comment on it.
I still ain't got my jewelry on.
I don't see any jewelry.
Because them bruised at me. You should have seen me. I look cute in them handcuffs.
Sure.
According to her, this was all
just, it was a coordinated hate campaign.
Random mistake?
Yes.
Like what?
No, I betcha that this was done by, well, if this were Hamas Diddy bin Laden Adolf Epstein Piker, he would assume that those are agents of Israel.
She kept saying that she didn't understand what the charges were for, even though the police clearly told her, hey, this is...
It's for fraud. He said it twice.
For fraud related to the benefits.
All right. Yeah, Brett, let's up those numbers.
You've been taken out here, which, you know, is kind of wild because this wasn't like a surprise knock for, you know, a parking ticket or an unpaid toll or something like that. No, this is 5 years of fraud. Like, come on. And these were obviously existing felony warrants. That means paperwork, investigations, and time, not just something that appears out of thin air. It kind of looks like she's treating this like every other crisis in her life. It's just like another moment to center around herself as the victim of the haters and trolls that keep attacking her on the internet.
Yes, don't you know she's the victim?
Even though she's the one that's putting all the content out on the internet.
Yeah, she's the one that's bragging about it. It's another... All right, Brett. Yeah, it's just another... It's called being it's called a self-report and a self-own.
It makes her look awful for the people to then react to. Like, why do you continuously out yourself on the internet for people to react to you if you've...
Because all publicity is good publicity.
Feel like the victim. Like, just stop posting on the internet if you don't have...
She's not going to. She's a compulsive poster.
Anything productive to post. This is so incredibly self-inflicted. But after doing just a little bit of research on her, it seems like, you know, the consistent theme here is nothing's ever her fault. Like...
Yep, the same thing applies to a lot of people.
Kids, they don't have beds because she's too famous to go buy them.
She's too famous
for her.
No.
And her mom didn't do it? Like, ma'am, you are not Michael Jackson in the 80s.
'Cause you're not Michael Jackson, yeah.
80s and 90s here. Like, you could go to the store and buy some beds.
Yeah.
Hello. Like, at what point do you...
No, even you, Atozi, made the point that she could just order a bed and have it shipped to her door.
Take a little bit of accountability for your own actions here. Because I guess it didn't start when she got her own mugshot, and obviously now she's, again, the victim of her own story, so I don't think it's going to start anytime soon. But either way, she has the chaotic live streams, she has the apology videos. What's next?
If you can call them apology videos.
Music career or something?
I got...
Oh, hell no. Her new song, New. Oh, no. No.
New. I got new. I got new. Like that?
Yeah.
No, not like that.
No, I guess we can leave it there. I have nothing to add to whatever I just heard there. I don't know why, but a lot of the comments on her videos are saying that she loves inmates so much that she became one.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Like, yeah, because rap culture was influenced by prison culture, and prison culture is really, really gay.
I feel like I'm missing some context here, but apparently her type is men who are not available, like
oh my god,
legally not available. Because apparently she goes on these rants, blaming the victims of these murderers for them being locked up in prison, because I guess she has now fallen in love.
Oh, I see.
Love with a murderer in prison or something like.
Oh no.
That. I don't know.
Let me guess. It's one of those. It's one of those bad boys kinds of things.
Thing I learned about this woman is quite cursed, to put it lightly.
No.
Yeah, Ash defending an inmate and blaming the woman he took the life of.
He literally unalived his wife.
Well, it's not my
Well, maybe she shouldn't have been there.
fault. Act like it's my fault. Maybe if he was happy, he would know.
Oh, good grief. No, the jaw drop on her.
They just recorded that.
Yes, of course we recorded that.
You are mean. That was so mean. That episode made me cry.
It did make me cry. It made me fall asleep.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Whoops, sorry.
Okay, after doing a little bit more research now, apparently she was married to a man who was actively serving a long sentence. And
okay, then, so this is something that's happened before.
when people asked if that bothered her, her answer was basically, no, actually, this is ideal. Because according to Ashley, men in prison are easier to deal with since they can't cheat or disappear.
Well, if anyone's going to disappear, it's going to be you if you end up with any one of those guys.
What is that? I mean, that sounds more like checking out a library book than dating. Like, come on. But apparently over the years, she's cycled through multiple incarcerated men, sometimes overlapping, sometimes back to back, sometimes calling them her husband after knowing, you know, them for no time at all. Just imagine being the kid here, and every time you open TikTok...
Now, since she has kids, was this inmate husband of hers the father of those kids?
There's your mom explaining why her newest guy is actually different this time. Like, that is a nightmare for any child. And apparently, one week, he's my husband, and then the next week, he betrayed me. And
he betrayed me by taking me.
Kids are just in the back like, Mom, can you please stop oversharing to the internet? This is not good. Well, hey, at least now the court date she's going to be attending will be for her own case rather than her boyfriend's sake. And I guess best case for her, she's looking at a long legal fight, probation, fines, and years of paperwork.
Yeah.
Worst case, she's looking at time in state jail. So being loud...
He said like 6 months to 5 years.
Out online doesn't make charges disappear. I feel like people should know this by now, but I mean, if suddenly people learn this, I would lose out on a lot of content here on this channel. But hopefully people do learn. But honestly, after now seeing her track record, this will probably not be the last time I cover her, so...
It probably won't, and we're gonna be... Well, I might not be here for it, because sometimes YouTube might be weird with, like, recommendations and stuff, but...
You're here for...
But, yeah, that was certainly entertaining. Oh, wait, yeah. No, crazy-ass bitch. No, we have to deal with all the thoughts of TikTok. Thoughts. No, TikTok thoughts. I don't know what you would call them, but we're gonna call them whatever the hell. All right, let's see. Let me check some things. All right, things are looking good. All right, we will move on. I've got 2 more videos that I wanted to look at. We have one that's kind of vaguely relevant to, not necessarily the theme of the stream has no theme. I'm only calling it the Snowstorm Special because that's what's going on here. But we do have this weather-related video that I wanted to look at, and then we have a wavy web surf video that I wanted to take a look at as well. I think I actually do want to take a look at this. It's the night Texas hit 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 60 degrees Celsius. Like, I know that's how hot places like Death Valley can get, among other places, but now this caught my eye because for a lot of like elementary school in particular, well, starting in like the 4th or 5th grade, I kind of developed a fascination with the weather that eventually turned into more just general science more than anything else. So we should honestly look at more weather-related videos. I bet that would be a lot of fun, considering my... Well, it's been a while since I've studied up on weather phenomena. I actually once had, like, a few, like, children's sort of informational picture books about the weather, and I remember rereading them more than once. But I am genuinely curious to see the night that Texas had hit 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 Celsius, during a thunderstorm by... It's either Swaggle Studios or Sweagle Studios, but this is my first time checking out this guy's channel. Be sure to check them out as well, and yeah. Okay, Brett, make sure you up those numbers. So let's go ahead and see how Texas acquired such a high temperature.
The date, June 15th, 1960.
Okay, so this was a while ago.
The location, the very small town of Copperell, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was a typical, beautiful summer evening. Skies were clear, and the temperature was a comfortable 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's how it starts. Well, it usually starts multiple ways. Like, one of the ways that you would know that a storm is coming is, like, during the morning, if the skies are, like... If there's, like, scattered clouds and it's, like, kind of red, and there's this little reddish tinge to them, then there's going to be a storm later. But if you see that same type of cloud covering at sunset, then it means that it's going to be nice weather the next day.
But a line of strong thunderstorms...
And then here we go, cumulonimbus rising.
Was forecasted to roll in through the middle of the night.
Yeah.
This was not something that was unusual.
Okay.
Central Texas and much of the plains in general encounter nocturnal thunderstorms all the...
Yeah, given that Texas is like within the south of what we refer to as Tornado Alley, because that part of the U.S. has more tornadoes than any part of the entire world. Like, they're so common in the U.S. that's why we call it Tornado Alley. And it has to deal with the cold air from the Rocky Mountains interacting with the the cold, dry air of the Rocky Mountains interacting with the warm, moist air of the Gulf of Mexico. And that combination is a recipe for lots of thunderstorms and lots of tornadoes. That's not to say that tornadoes don't happen outside of the U.S. There have been plenty of instances in places like Europe, but the U.S., the Great Plains and Tornado Alley has lots of them. But we're not talking about a tornado. We're talking about immense heat.
The time during the summer. So nobody in town gave the upcoming thunderstorm much thought.
Right, because it's just a regular occurrence in this part of the U.S.
Down their children for the night and went to
Especially
bed.
during the summer.
As the storm passed over around midnight, everyone in town suddenly woke up. Was it a large bolt of lightning? No. Was it the sirens going off warning of an approaching tornado? No. It was actually a massive and sudden spike in temperature. According to those who witnessed the event,
I can only imagine what that must have felt like. I don't know, like, it's gotten, like, I have, like, experience where like, here in Ohio, it doesn't get that hot, but we've had, like, triple-digit Fahrenheit temperatures here before, and yes, they can be quite unbearable, but we also get some pretty low temperatures as well, especially that one year where a polar vortex came about and it was like negative 15 degrees Celsius. I remember hearing a story of someone's dad trying to take out the trash or something like that, and then the cold was so bad that their eyes were tearing up, but then the tears ended up freezing. All the while, it was like that cold outside. So yeah, temperature is no joke.
In a matter of minutes, the temperature outside became extremely hot. Thermometers on buildings climbed all the way up until they maxed out at 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's how hot it gets in like some deserts. I mentioned Death Valley earlier.
Or 60 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
During the thunderstorm, something strange caused the temperature to rise by nearly 50 degrees.
Oh, what exactly happened? Like, I know that clouds can trap, like, heat and stuff. Like, sometimes whenever it's, like, cloudy, especially, like, in the transition, like, between, like, fall and, or spring or anything like that, I know that clouds can trap heat, so that when, like, the skies end up clearing out, sometimes the temperature gets lower, but I don't know. I want to see where this is going.
Only a few minutes. On top of the temperature spike, it was also extremely windy. And
okay, the wind deserts can have sandstorms, yep.
People panicked. Parents...
Sandstorms can be pretty dangerous, too.
Covered their children with wet towels. Some rushed to underground cellars.
Oh my god, imagine.
Cooler temperatures.
Yep. Whenever it comes to something like that, warm air rises, but cool air sinks. It's relatively cold in the basement where I'm live streaming from, and it's very cold outside, so yeah. And I know that when I go upstairs in the house, well, there's low visibility. Well, there's a number of reasons sandstorms are dangerous, but it's kind of hard to explain.
And some even thought...
But yeah, I know from experience, like, whenever the heater is on here at home, and I go upstairs, especially in one of the bathrooms, it tends to be very, very warm. And obviously down in the basement, it's very cold. So yeah, you'd want to go for the low ground in that case.
It was the end of the world. And this heat didn't just last for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, sandstorms can also be bad for, like, crops and infrastructure.
No, it stayed near 140 degrees for 4 sweltering hours.
4 hours of this heat.
It wouldn't be until 4 a.m. that the heat and the winds finally died down.
Oh my
the
god.
Townsfolk were...
Imagine if any infants were caught in this. That would be very bad for them, wouldn't it?
So affected by this heat thunderstorm, they called the event Satan's Storm.
Satan's Storm. A fitting name for something like that.
The next morning, the residents of Copperall were eager to find out what happened, so they tuned in.
I'd be very curious too. Like this, like I mentioned the polar vortex earlier, or that happened a few years ago. We know what happened. Literally, yeah, it's in the name, polar vortex. It came from the North Pole and came so far south that it caused a lot of sub-zero temperatures.
The local news. What caused this freak heat storm? But to their surprise, nothing was mentioned about it on the news.
Really? So this was like a very localized event, wasn't it?
Interestingly, this heat burst thunderstorm thing only seemed to happen over the town of Copperall. No other towns or cities in Texas reported a similar temperature spike.
Nothing, huh?
This further added to the mystery. Now,
and that's a very small town. I bet you could walk around that whole place within an hour.
140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I highly doubt, given that the whole town bared witness and they seemed to all be, like, in contact with each other, there's no way that they could be faking it.
60 degrees Celsius is a crazy outside temperature. Keep in mind, the highest official temperature ever recorded on this planet, like anywhere, ever, is 134 degrees Fahrenheit.
100, the Sandy Cheeks loves Texas. Yep, she wishes she was back in Texas. Really, so before that point, the highest recorded temperature was this.
Fahrenheit, recorded in Death Valley.
Yeah, Death Valley. That's, I mentioned that earlier. Death Valley is the hottest place on Earth.
California, on July 10th in 1913. So with this...
And Death Valley, fun fact, Death Valley goes below sea level.
Supposed heat wave thunderstorm actually happened.
It's a record-breaking storm.
Like the townsfolk claim, it would be the highest temperature ever recorded.
Yeah.
So the question is, did this event actually happen? Well, surprisingly, the evidence suggests yes.
I bet it did. Because there's usually signs of something like that happening, or at least something that could be, like, left behind, but I don't really know that much about heat storms.
But before we get to that, this video is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
Mint Mobile. Okay, you guys can go ahead and check them out if you want, but let's go ahead and move on.
8% of Americans and 4G LTE coverage for 99% of Americans. So unless you live in like a cave or something, you should be good to go. If you want to stop overpaying for wireless for a limited time, you can get the month for a 3, 6, or 12-month plan. Go check out Mint Mobile using the link in the description. Thank you so much to Mint Mobile for sponsoring the video. To answer the question on whether this freak heat wave Satan storm actually occurred, we need to find some primary sources. And
now, my question is, did they have Doppler radar back in the 60s?
Eyewitness testimonies from the people who were actually there during the event. And honestly,
If this happened in the 60s, I'm sure plenty of people... Well, if it's a small town like that, then they'd be the only ones to bear witness.
Rather annoying aspect about this whole Satan's Storm weather event is that there really isn't much info about it online or anywhere. It, in many ways, just
looking for help finding a narrative of survivors of the Copperell, Texas Satan Storm.
Seems like a piece of Texas folklore. But we do have reports about the event taken around that time.
Yep.
There was one journalist who traveled to the town after the event, WBAP-TV's photojournalist Floyd Bright. Bright filmed the extreme wind damage and interviewed several eyewitnesses.
Oh, there was some wind damage as well?
I searched forever for this footage. YouTube, the Internet Archive. A lot of other people were looking for this footage too, so I thought for sure it was lost media. But I somehow was actually able to find this footage online.
Let's go.
It was in the North Texas University archives.
Okay.
How crazy is that? Anyway, I received...
It's always one of those things. Yeah, we looked at a lost media related video earlier, and now we're back to more lost media.
The footage, and here's what he captured. Now he starts off by filming various examples of strong wind damage.
Okay, so that's some of the obvious stuff. Obviously, wind can be very, very dangerous.
And the wind damage definitely was significant.
As you can see, wind damage causes lots of damage to property, and trees get knocked over, so it's no joke. Wind is like when it comes to a storm, like obviously rain can cause flooding, and lightning can strike trees, and then like rain can become hail, and that can cause damage. But the wind is what you really gotta watch out for. And see, the tree is practically uprooted, and some of them fell, and some kid had to get their bunny. But of course, when you're in Tornado Alley, this is something that you just have to expect. Even though there are plenty of small towns across the Great Plains that still get demolished by powerful tornadoes. And here, destruction
Clearly,
of property.
The winds were quite strong. I mean, look at this small convenience store.
Yep.
It looks like it was hit by an EF1 or EF2 tornado.
Yeah, floods can be pretty dangerous as well.
Yep.
Apparently, it was just wind, but no tornado.
Image is cool and all, but we're here to talk about the heat.
Yeah.
So let's get to the actual interviews.
Well, about 12 o'clock last night, the lights and air conditioners went off. So we went outside to where we thought it'd be cooler, but instead of being cooler, well, the temperature is about 100 degrees, and just like a hot blast of air out of the oven hit you in the face when you went out there. It's so hot, you couldn't stay out there. And I called the electric power company and was telling them about how strong the wind was and the power was out. And JD, what?
Well, our crew that started down here, they reported back to me on the radio that it was so hot in the truck and they thought that the heater was on. So they checked the heater to make sure the heater wasn't on. How hot was it?
Well, it was over 100 degrees.
Was it hard to breathe?
Well, you couldn't hardly breathe. It's just like you stick your head in the oven. George and I went to the dock several times, about 3 times, and his car got hot. The water was boiling in his radiator.
Many people had an extremely difficult time breathing, and wet towels were used to cool the air around their mouths.
Yeah.
To relieve some of their breathing difficulties, especially...
Oh, damn. I don't know if I've ever had any experiences like that. Like, I know that when it comes to extreme cold, yes, it can be hard to breathe. It can, like, hurt, but... Maybe that does happen when it's very hot.
With young children and older adults.
Yeah.
Well, there was one woman that a little kid couldn't hardly breathe, and they had to put wet handkerchiefs on him.
This, oh my god, his voice reminded me of Boomhauer.
No, so they could breathe, because the air was so hot that it nearly suffocates you if you didn't have a wet towel or something that could moisten air.
No, my god, I was resisting the urge to do a Boomhauer impression.
Ways to escape the heat during the event.
Yeah, we have these little cellars.
Seek shelter in a storm cellar, since temperatures were cooler underground. One local farmer actually opened up his storm cellar to almost 20 people.
What were your experiences during the storm?
Well, the wind kept blowing and couldn't sleep. And, my
The
ears
wind-
were popping, so I just
Yeah, I bet that can happen, like, with pressure differences.
thought I'd get up and go down to the storm house. Had a half bed down there and go down and stay a while.
Yeah, a lot of people in these parts of the U.S. will often have, like, dedicated shelters and cellars and stuff in case of all of that?
Down there about an hour, and a lot of company came in. About 19, I believe, in all told.
I was still in bed in the house when they came, so I got up and joined the crowd.
Well, we raised the wind in our house, and the wind was so hot, I thought the house was on fire. So
Okay, so the wind itself was very hot.
we came over to Hokey's cellar, and I was the second one in there, and there he was in his shorts.
Another eyewitness of the event told their story on Reddit. I lived on a farm outside of Copperole when this happened. I was 9 years old, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night when our old window water cooler went off. It was eerily silent, and then the house...
The water was very deep. Would be fun enough if someone was to... I don't know if you would want that to happen, especially if it's like a flash flood, but I'm sure you're just talking about water in general rather than like a flood. But floods are very dangerous, so I wouldn't recommend swimming in them.
The house was hit by a strong and hot wind. My father decided we needed to go to the storm cellar outside the back door, and we stayed in there for quite a while. Later, we saw the large advertising thermometer at Riddle's bait shop in Copperole had burst from the heat. On the news, we saw photos of someone's cotton field, and all the plants were
in pools, I figured.
Scorched. Very, very strange. Now, real quick, let's talk about that thermometer. In fact, let's talk about the 140-degree temperature, because nowhere in any of the interviews did someone mention 140 degrees. In fact, the only mention of an actual thermometer was right here.
Okay. I got up about
so no
midnight, and it was hot. I came out here to see just how hot it was. This thermometer was sitting on 100 degrees, and I think it got hotter than that afterwards.
I guess that could imply 140 degrees, but I'm not so sure. One primary source that did mention the 140-degree temperature was an article in the Clifton Record. The article was titled, "Freak Heat Wave Hits Lake Whitney." By the way, Lake Whitney is the lake that Copperole is located on.
Okay, yeah.
Tuesday night residents in the vicinity of a lakeside village in Mooney Village experienced a freak weather condition that caused considerable damage and aroused fear among the residents. Intense night heat that generated destructive windstorms unroofed a number of buildings, toppling power poles and trees. The temperature climbed to 96 degrees. The weatherman reported that the temperature must have reached nearly 140 degrees for a brief time in spots. Pressure dropped swiftly, and glass in the Mooney store shattered outward. A number of residents sought safety in a storm cellar.
Yeah, to comment on pressure, when it comes to how storms work, storms form whenever the atmospheric pressure is low. Whenever it's high, you get clear skies, but whenever it's low, because of that, I guess the way it works is that it causes water to evaporate more quickly and thus condense into more clouds and such. Or at least that's how I think it works. Don't quote me on that.
So that's all the evidence we really have for 140 degrees, but we do have some other evidence. Another more tangible piece of evidence might be the burned crops. Local farmer named Pete.
Oh, some crops got affected.
Pete Burns. Yes,
they got burned.
Literally, his last name is Burns.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Mr. Burns reported that
his name is Mr. Burns. Okay.
Cotton stalks had darkened and changed color, and that you could crush them with your hands almost.
Damn, no, the wind was hot enough to literally cook the plants.
It's like as if it had been frozen in liquid nitrogen.
Really?
I plowed this cotton yesterday, and it was right pretty stand of it. Today, you can see it looked like a blowtorch had been run over it.
Damn.
In the same way.
So, see, yeah, it left. So this 140-degree wind left physical evidence that wasn't destruction of property.
With the corn right across the road here, the leaves had all burnt off of it. We also cut some hay. Normally it'd take about 2 days for it to cure, and it was cured overnight.
Damn.
It had such a hot wind. Bailing it now.
That must have been painful to have to feel.
This journalist.
Was anyone's skin burned? If it burnt all the plants, then you would think that it could cause skin burns as well.
A great job, because he actually tried to record the sound of the crop breaking apart as if it was burnt. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and I guess that's what happened to it. It all wilted and burned.
Even earlier in the video, he filmed like a cinematic scene of a car pulling up to some damage, and then he switched to the two men walking out of the car. That's some pretty cool stuff. I love that. Since this occurred before the modern meteorological era, we really don't have any true data.
Okay, so I'm guessing Doppler radar wasn't a thing yet?
It actually got that hot.
Or maybe it was a thing, but just not as widespread.
No data from the event. All we have are just little pieces of...
Yeah, like from the sun, yeah.
Evidence like...
Yeah, skin burns are no joke in that case.
Burnt cotton and eyewitness testimonies.
Yep.
I mean, clearly,
well, there's quite a lot of evidence that's more than enough evidence to suggest something like that really happened.
clearly it got super hot out with the breathing difficulties and people trying to escape their houses because they thought they were on fire. This kind of environment does sound like it could really only happen in an extreme heat, like around the 130 degrees
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
From face to neck to shoulder, damn.
Rain.
Did your skin end up getting did you have to peel your skin off at a certain point? Because I know that's something that can happen with sunburns. You have to literally peel it off like you're like a molting reptile.
Unfortunately, though, like I said, no proper measurements were taken at the time, so no one truly knows how hot it actually got.
Yeah.
If only this event had happened today.
Let me guess. It has happened in recent memory.
Well, actually, a very similar event.
A few days later. Oh, so we're getting a more recent example now in a place called Anita.
It did happen much more
in Iowa. That's further north. That's a little further north than Texas. So
recently, on August 23rd, 2011, the townspeople of Atlantic, Iowa were going about their day when suddenly the temps went up.
Oh.
A lot.
A lot.
But this time, it didn't happen in the middle of the night. No, it happened
in the daytime. So there was a lot more. When it's during the day, obviously more people are going to be out and about, and so it's going to be more well recorded.
The late afternoon, early evening, around 5:55 p.m. Everything was chill. Everything was calm. The temp was 84 degrees. It's a little hot, but nothing unusual.
Yeah, 84 is pretty typical for like early summer or something like that.
Dew point was 75 degrees and the winds were near 5 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But within 5 minutes, the winds picked up to 20 miles per hour and the temp went up to 86 degrees.
Okay, so there's another hot wind, I guess?
Okay, that's not too bad, only 2 degrees.
I mean, that's a pretty big change in wind speed.
But then, 10 minutes later, around 6:15, the wind was blowing at a brisk 60 miles per hour.
60 miles, that's almost hurricane force. No, it's 60 miles per hour, that's a hurricane force wind.
And the temp continued to go up to 93 degrees.
93.
The dew point had also dropped to 54 degrees. So the temp went up about 7 degrees in only 15 minutes. But it wasn't over yet.
Okay, so there's more.
Over the next hour until 7:05 p.m., the temperature would rise even more, up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, and the dew point plummeted to 7 degrees.
I wonder, damn, is there some sort of correlation? No, I wonder how that would work in relation to the dew point. Like, the dew point is the temperature at which, dew appears on grass and plants and stuff, that gets condensed, but that's strange that as the temperature would suddenly spike, the dew point would go down that much. Usually, as you can see, they're relatively, I don't actually know how dew point works, but for the dew point to be below freezing, or am I misreading this?
At this peak heat, the winds surprisingly died down to only 3 miles per hour. Within an hour...
Okay, so the wind gust just disappeared.
The temp went up nearly 20 degrees.
Oh, no.
And Iowans noticed.
Weird weather.
Yep, okay, and here's a news source.
Gets Iowans talking, and today, our Eric Hansen found out that in towns all across southwest Iowa, people were asking, did you feel what moved through town just before sunset?
Yep, I know. So we have 80-degree weather, the wind starts to pick up, and then it gets hotter. It then eventually forms a hurricane force wind, and then it gets up to 120.
The temperature change.
I felt this heat rising up through the window, and I said to my husband, you need to come here.
It just felt like when you open your oven after it's been preheated. It was just
yeah, I bet even a hair dryer. That's actually a hair dryer is a pretty good comparison. I wonder if that's exactly how it felt.
like that. It was just a gust of hot air, just exactly like the blow dryer.
As if you had just turned on a heater, and it was coming at your face.
With winds up to 60 miles an hour and plummeting humidity. But even crazier was how...
Oh, the humidity went down too. Damn. So this was a hot, dry wind.
Fast it left.
It was just a matter of minutes.
It just calmed down.
It was weird.
Oh my God.
Mother Nature's not happy with us.
At least they're making light of it, as weird as it may have seemed.
Everyone here in town knows exactly what it felt like, but no one really knows why it happened.
Of course, the great thing about this event...
Yeah, this time we have the Doppler radar, among other things.
...is that unlike the Texas event in 1960, this time we had...
Okay, so here we go. Yep, you see the dew point and the temperature. I guess as the temperature goes up, the dew point goes down, and then the wind speeds, I wonder.
The data. Here's a graph showing the dew point and temperature over the time frame of the event provided by the Atlantic AWO.
Okay, so this was back in 2011.
There were also multiple other weather stations at
Okay, so others were reporting the same thing.
schools that recorded the anomaly. The temperature and dew point data collected from these various schools.
Oh, some schools.
Clearly show the temperature slowly rising and then a sudden spike around 7:15. They also showed the sudden wind speed increase. Clearly, the same phenomenon that happened in Corporal, Texas in 1960 appears to have happened again.
Only the difference is that in Corporal, it lasted for 4 hours, but this one only lasted a few minutes.
A lot of the language is the same as well. Like the air felt like the heat when you open an oven.
Yeah.
Hot blast of air out of the oven hit you in the face when you went out there.
It just felt like when you open your oven after it's been preheated.
And clearly, I mean...
No, like, what's the year difference? It was from 2011, 60, that's like 50 years later.
Clearly, this sudden change in temperature was pretty impactful.
It was a big change, something that was extremely noticeable, not just minor.
This was like, I thought the house was on fire. I looked out the window to see if there was something going on because it was so sudden and so obvious.
So what?
Oh, imagine having to deal with that.
What is going on? What is up with these micro heat waves?
Okay, so are we going to get the science now?
Well, meteorologists have actually figured out exactly what's going on.
Okay, let's see.
These two events were caused by a very rare meteorological phenomenon known as the heat burst.
Heat burst. Well, okay.
So what is a heat burst?
Let's see.
A heat burst is a sudden yet brief wave of very hot wind.
Well, yeah, but how does it actually work?
These occur when hot air lofted high up in the atmosphere, usually around 10 to 20,000 feet up, is suddenly blown down to the ground. In a very similar mechanism to another much more common phenomenon that you probably have heard of, the downburst.
Oh, so basically, like, you could see this downburst. This is a lot of very, very heavy rainfall. And I guess these heat bursts work on the same principle.
Okay, so with any thunderstorm, you have pockets of moisture, rain, hail, up in the atmosphere, and this moisture...
Yeah, thunderstorms, the cumulonimbus clouds are very, very big, and they go really high up into the atmosphere. I don't know if they're capable of reaching the stratosphere. It might depend.
Then cools the surrounding air. Cool air is denser than warm air, so it falls rapidly, and then it can get flushed out onto the ground, for lack of a better term. Okay, but I just said cool air there. How does it occur with hot air?
Let's see.
Well, in an extremely rare circumstance, the cool, moist air that originated high up into the cumulonimbus cloud, as it falls, the rain and moisture evaporates, and as it evaporates, it becomes extremely dry, and then that...
Okay. All right, so mature stage. At the peak of a thunderstorm, warm, humid air is ingested into the storm. Heavy rain tends to cool as it falls, right? And then the weakening stage. As a storm begins to weaken, hot air keeps rising. Meanwhile, rain starts to fall into a dry or drying subcloud air mass and evaporates. And then the dissipating stage. As the storm continues to weaken, cool air plunges downward, compresses, and begins to heat, reaching the ground as a warm wind.
Air compresses, and that...
But how does this explain what happened in Iowa? They said that it was a sunny day.
Compression actually causes it to get super hot.
I guess it doesn't need a storm. I guess it doesn't need a thunderstorm to happen.
And then all that hot air just onto the ground. And then boom, you get a heat wave down on the surface. They usually occur when the parent thunderstorm is decaying, and they usually occur during the night. Let's go back to the Atlantic, Iowa example and look at the data to see how this particular heat burst formed. Here is a sounding chart, a vertical view of the atmosphere near Omaha around 7 p.m. as the heat burst was occurring over Iowa. This line represents the temperature, and do you see how it suddenly gets hotter as it descends through the atmosphere?
I'm trying to read this.
It's heating up through compression. Here's a velocity scan of the high wind reported during the heat burst near Guthrie. Now, this entire area likely got super hot, but it's believed that this specific high-velocity area had the highest temperatures. Unfortunately, no one was actually in this area at the time to record the true top temp. So what are some other verified, keyword verified, we'll talk about unverified later, heat bursts throughout history? Well, the very first mention of the heat burst phenomenon may have been in Georgia in 1860.
1860, so we didn't even have the kind of... We were nowhere near that kind of...
A Scientific American article, Volume 3, 106, stated, a hot wind extending about 100 yards in width lately passed through middle Georgia and scorched up cotton crops on a number of plantations.
Oh, just like what happened in Texas.
A hot wind also passed through a section of Kansas. It burned up the vegetation in its track.
There seems to be a pattern with it messing up all the plants.
And several persons fell victim to the poisonous blast.
Oh, so some people have died too?
It lasted for a very short period, during which the thermometer stood at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Sounds a lot like a heat burst. In terms of the record in swing in temperature, like the greatest temperature climb of a verified heat burst, that occurred during a heat burst in 2008 in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Around 4 a.m. on August 3rd, 2008 in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, during a thunderstorm, the wind suddenly picked up and the temperature went from 70 degrees
Okay, so there's a correlation between the temperature and the dew point in this kind of context.
Fahrenheit all the way up to 101 degrees Fahrenheit
101
in only 15 minutes. It went up a massive 31 degrees. Around 3:45 in the morning, campers at Wall Lake contacted police to report strong winds and unusually high temperatures. There was also a significant pressure drop during the incident. And this is interesting because a major pressure drop was also recorded during the Copperell, Texas heat burst in 1960.
I bet that's just how thunderstorms work in low pressure systems.
In fact, one farmer during the event stated that his ears were popping.
Okay, now that actually does make sense if the pressure was that low.
My ears were popping, so I just thought I'd get up and go down to the storm house.
It was also noted that the windows of a local store broke outward due to the low pressure.
Oh, damn. So, all right. Interesting.
Probably the wind. I don't know. But
it's probably the wind.
You can see a similar pressure drop was recorded in Sioux Falls in 2008. And then the pressure quickly returned to its previous level as the storm dissipated. The highest verified temperature ever recorded during a heat burst was in Phoenix, Arizona on July 28, 1995, when the temp climbed from 106 degrees Fahrenheit to only 114 degrees Fahrenheit.
114.
So not quite 140. Also, this is kind of crazy, but one heat burst actually just occurred like last week, like as I was recording this video.
Oh no.
Video and doing research. Like one happened. There was a significant heat burst in Viewbank, Australia in the
this was in Australia?
The night on January 9th, 2026.
And it went from, I don't know what the conversion to Fahrenheit would be, but that would be like between the 80s and the 90s.
The temperature went from 18...
Because I know that like 40 degrees Celsius is a little above 100 Fahrenheit.
Degrees Celsius at 2 a.m. to 36 degrees Celsius at 4 a.m. and then all the way back down to 18 degrees Celsius by 5:30 a.m.
I don't know if we've ever experienced anything like that where I live, not to my knowledge.
That's actually crazy. But if you want to talk crazy, then we should discuss unverified heat bursts.
Okay, let's see.
These really are crazy. For example, apparently in Portugal on July 6, 1949, the temperature went from 38 degrees Celsius all the way up to 70 degrees Celsius.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
How
much is that in Fahrenheit? It'll probably be hot when you go there. Yeah. 2 minutes of whatever 70 is in Fahrenheit.
That's crazy. What? That's some extreme weather right there.
Yeah.
This was apparently possible because this heat burst just happened to occur during a significant heat wave.
Well, if there's a heat wave, obviously you're going to expect it to be hot, but for something to go that high up in temperature, damn.
One newspaper article at the time stated that the blast of hot air for the people encountering it felt like being licked by fiery tongues.
Yeah, I bet.
Does not sound pleasant at all.
I bet there was also, I'm assuming that there was a wind associated with it.
In terms of unverified heat bursts, the max temp ever recorded was an outstanding 188 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's almost boiling point. The boiling point in terms of Fahrenheit is 210 and it's 100 Celsius. That's almost boiling point.
87 degrees Celsius.
It wouldn't surprise me if water may have been low-key boiling.
Shade temperature in June 1967 in Abadan, Iran.
Well, obviously, in the Middle East, it's mostly desert, so you would expect it to have high temperatures.
That's... wow. Apparently, and unfortunately, this event killed 12 men. So,
oh, no.
So yeah, mystery solved. Now we know the mechanisms behind these so-called Satan storms. Did it really get up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit in Texas in 1960? Well, anything 140 plus kind of seems a little crazy to me, to be honest. They might have been exaggerating a little bit.
We don't know.
But, I mean, clearly something happened. I personally believe it was probably around 130 degrees. I mean, the heat was
who knows?
Clearly substantial enough for the locals to make a big deal out of it. And it also lasted for so long. 4 hours?
4 hours. Yeah, and that one in Iowa only lasted a few minutes.
It's not very typical of a normal heat burst. So there is still a little bit of a mystery with that event. But overall, we have a good idea of what happened. The heat burst phenomenon is likely one we will encounter more in the future, and perhaps one extreme example soon will be fully documented.
Yeah, especially these days in the modern age of the internet, a lot of things it's very likely, more likely than you'd think.
And will finally break that 100-year-old, 136-degree heat record in Death Valley. Quick announcement, there's a new members-only video on Mega megacryrometeors. These are large chunks of ice that mysteriously, randomly fall under blue skies. What is going on there?
That actually reminds me of this one time where me and my siblings were playing out back in we had like little sprinklers and stuff, when it was like the skies were clear, but then all of a sudden it started raining, and we were like, wait, where is this rain coming from?
Well, be sure to check out that video if you're a member. But yes, thank you.
All right, thank you for this video. That was very informative. No, we might have to check out more of this in the future, given my my childhood obsession with the weather. It only makes sense that I would want to look at more of this kind of content. But yeah, that was really great. Thank you so much for it. So make sure you guys check out his original video. But now we've got, it is 3:24. We've got one more video that I wanted to look at. And that was this video by Wavy Websurf. We've been looking at a lot of his videos lately. I might have to, if I decide to clip these, then I probably won't include the entirety of the videos. Some of it might be VOD exclusive, but also don't be afraid to like check out the original videos as well. And we're talking about the insane scandals of delivery drivers, which I think the one that happened like most recently was the one where the lady filming a guy in his house. She was a DoorDash delivery driver. She was told to put the food on his doorsteps, but for whatever reason, she decided to open the door and saw that he was asleep on his couch naked, and she recorded the video, and she made it sound like that she was assaulted. And not only did she end up losing her job, but I think she ended up getting arrested for it. Yeah, it says arrested for filming a customer, so yeah. And she wanted to make believe that she was the victim, even though she was violating that guy's privacy. But make sure you check out Wavy Websurf's original video, and let's go ahead and see how many insane scandals of delivery drivers there could possibly be, because I can imagine that there'd be a lot.
Delivery apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats have been the center of much controversy over the years.
I remember the... Yes, that is the consequence, yep. I remember I remember the first time that I ever got sick with COVID, I was like out cold for a month. One of the things that helped me recover was looking at Grubhub meme videos, and they were absolutely hilarious. I guess it's true what they say, that laughter is the best medicine, and it I wouldn't say that it cured me of my COVID, but it definitely made it at least somewhat bearable. So I can imagine like delivery apps getting into controversies like that. Like, I do know that there were some of them that were like listing restaurants that the restaurants in question did not consent to having them being listed. I've had it twice as well. Maybe 3 times. At least twice. The first time I was sick for a month, and then the second time I was only sick for a week. So, yeah. These days, it's become no different from a regular flu, so... Because the thing about diseases is that they don't necessarily want to kill you. They just want to harvest your cells and use it for its own purposes. But sometimes our bodies overreact and we die, so... But we're going to... Let's go ahead and continue.
And some delivery drivers and customers are hell-bent that it stays that way. From YouTube pranksters getting shot by dashers to...
Oh, no.
Grubhub couriers plowing women...
Oh, hell no! No, 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 no. I don't want... Are you kidding me?
And an Uber Eats driver getting doxxed by Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, la da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G, Snoop Dogg! You were sick quite badly when you had it, but no, that actually happened to me. I couldn't eat anything. I had to subsist off of protein shakes, among other things.
These are the...
And sometimes I had to force myself to eat. Yeah, the second time, yeah.
The food delivery...
And that was when it got like, yeah.
App disasters.
DoorDash driver films, yes, this is the one that went viral. Like, it was either last month or the month before. It was like within the last month or two. And I remember Asmongold and several other content creators talking about it as well.
DoorDash driver films naked man in his house and posts it online.
And this ended up getting a freaking... We've seen like multiple AI Pixar trailer about it. So yeah.
In the city of Oswego, New York, on October 12, 2025, 23-year-old Livy...
This lady, yes, this is it.
Rose Henderson was delivering food orders on DoorDash. At around 11:15 p.m., she arrived at a customer's house in the 100th block of East Bridge Street to drop off the order. But this was no ordinary delivery, as the door to the home was curiously ajar.
Was it?
Now you think...
Was it already open, or did she purposefully open it?
She just dropped the food off, but that's not what happens. Livy allegedly decided to look through what's been described as a...
Wait, is that the actual footage? No, I need to run that back because I've never actually seen it yet.
Livy allegedly decided to look through what's been described...
And he's supposed to be naked, but...
as a half-open door, and that's when she saw a man asleep on the couch with his pants pulled down all the way to his ankle.
Oh my god, it's okay. So this is the footage. I've never actually seen the footage itself. I just know that it's kind of what happened. Like, was his door already open? Because from what I've heard, she purposefully opened the door in order to see.
Cock and balls on full display.
Oh.
So admittedly, not the...
And yeah, she ended up losing her job because by posting that, she ended up she posted that video on, it was either TikTok or Instagram, and I guess DoorDash caught wind of it because it's inappropriate material, and you know,
greatest etiquette,
and the rest is history.
Here. But what the Dasher does next is questionable to say the least.
Yeah.
Livy pulls out her phone and begins filming the man through this doorway.
Yep.
Later posting the footage to her TikTok.
She just assumes that she was assaulted. That's basically what happened.
Page IRL Monster High Doll.
That's fucked up.
The next day, she'd take to TikTok to speak again on the matter, letting folks know she reported the incident to DoorDash as well as the local police via the non-emergency line. The police actually sent an officer to Livy's home to talk about what had happened.
When he asked me if I want to press charges, like, what do I want to come from this? And I said, yeah, if there are charges to press...
Did she lie? Well, we're about to find out.
I prefer that because I don't want...
All we know is that she was filming this guy without his knowledge, and we don't know yet. Well, I do know, but I don't know the full context. I just know that she ended up getting in trouble for posting nude footage of this guy without his knowledge, and she ended up getting in trouble for that, and she ended up getting charged for it.
He said he's not sure if there are charges that can be pressed at this point because he was inside of his house.
Yeah.
And specifically, he said it's not like he came up to his door with it out or like his window with it out or whatever. But it's like, come on now.
Livy also relayed that an officer had been dispatched to talk to the customer as well.
The police officer said he was going over to the residence of that DoorDash customer to speak to him and see what his side of the story is, what he has to say about what was going on with him.
Now, I'm all for giving people the benefit of the doubt.
No, that's the thing. At first, it seemed like...
Livy would show early on that maybe she shouldn't be trusted.
Yeah.
Her stories about this situation were often contradictory, and she seemed...
Okay, so if there's contradictions in her story, then...
...seemed to change elements of it at will. With her once saying that the man was simply asleep, laying there naked.
Yeah, was he?
But then she goes on to expand in saying that, well, he was probably masturbating beforehand.
Okay, so was he awake or was he not?
Like she was making it out to be more sinister than what it appeared to be on camera.
Within 15 minutes of ordering DoorDash and it getting delivered to your front door, you're asleep on the couch with your pants and your underwear to your ankles, your front door wide open, your lights on, it's freezing outside. Like, come on now. That is voyeurism. That is exhibitionism. See,
the hell? I've never heard of the term voyeurism or exhibitionism.
Listen, if I wasn't the target, you still shouldn't be whacking it off, whether you're drunk or under the influence of any substance.
Okay, so she just assumed that this guy may have been pleasing himself, so she doesn't actually know. She's just making an assumption.
With your door wide open regardless.
And she also assumed that he may have been drunk.
Anybody could walk out and get assaulted from that, seeing what you're doing on your couch. It could be a child.
It seems she was trying to paint a disturbing picture of this being, you know, a weird voyeuristic kink from the dude where, you know, he's falling asleep with his junk out, hoping unassuming female dashers would find him here.
There's no way that's even...
Though as she started to get a lot of TikTok engagement, things took a turn in a direction she never expected.
Okay,
here. TikTok again.
Yes, I think this is... Yes, she posted literal footage of a naked guy, which would obviously... I'm assuming that violates TikTok's policies.
Next day, Livy revealed that...
Oh, wait, no, that's the DoorDash logo.
DoorDash...
Yes, this is her DoorDash account that ended up getting locked.
...had suspended the customer's account, but it also...
Oh, wait, yeah, that happened as well.
...so deactivated hers as well.
Hey guys, so DoorDash
Yes, and this is the infamous clip.
just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault.
A sexual assault, and we have no idea whether or not you opened the door or whether or not the door was already open.
Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why.
It happened because you posted a naked footage.
She at this point began referring to the incident as a sexual assault and accused DoorDash of firing her for posting about this sexual assault.
This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while door dashing. They just fired me, and the police are doing nothing. I lost my job, and that was my only way to make money to pay my bills. This is a man's world.
TikTok is silencing my story.
I'm the victim.
Yep, and that's the quote from the Disney Pixar AI-generated slop.
Remember, I'm the victim.
DoorDash went on to make
Yes, no one should ever... Okay.
public statement explaining why she was terminated.
Okay, so no one should ever have to experience that kind of stuff, and DoorDash never deactivates someone for reporting it. Full stop. We take these reports incredibly seriously and work closely with law enforcement to investigate and support those affected. In this case, the Dasher let us know about an experience she had that made them feel unsafe, and that's exactly what we always want the Dashers to do. Our team immediately began investigating and has been in direct contact with law enforcement and is prepared to fully support any of their efforts. However, posting a video of a customer in their home and disclosing their personal details publicly is a clear violation of our policies. And that is the sole reason that this Dasher's account was deactivated, along with the customers, while we investigated. We've also ensured that the Dasher has full access to their earnings. We know that these are sensitive situations, and we want every Dasher to know. If you ever feel unsafe or experience something concerning, come to us. We're here to listen, act, and support. The part where she fucked up is that she posted the video on TikTok.
They had this to say. No one should ever have... We take the...
I read this out loud so we can...
Some would take Livy's side.
Yes.
Saying that she...
Well, of course, the person with all these flags in their bio would take their side.
He was violated, but I'd say a good Senate majority were skeptical to say the least.
Yeah, and by silent majority, it's Asmongold.
And many questioned her motives. Like, yeah, the guy was somewhat out of pocket for being naked and the door allegedly being cracked. But you filming it and posting him when he's in his own home and then moving the goalpost so you were sexually assaulted when people called you out, I understand the criticism.
Yeah.
It felt like an entitled, attention-seeking girl trying to make herself the victim in a situation that in many ways appeared to be brought upon by her own actions.
Yeah.
Even in the face of near unanimous ridicule and pushback, she remained adamant that she had in fact been violated and was being mistreated, posting a final update on the matter on October 26th.
And I have obtained irrefutable proof that the door was already wide open when I arrived to the customer's house.
And what's that proof?
But due to its importance, I cannot post that proof.
Oh, so you have proof that it was wide open, yet you don't want to post it because it's too important.
At this time. And to all those that have been supportive of me during this time, thank you so much. I've been seeing your comments and your videos and your messages, and trust me, I won't forget the love that has been shown to me during this time. And to any large creators that have made statements on my situation and then further retracted that and then issued me an apology,
Yeah, I was gonna be like, are you going to cry baby? Because the victim probably would be.
After this, everything went quiet on the side of Livy, and most people believe she had simply given up and retreated from the internet in shame. But her silence was actually more related to police getting involved.
Yep, she ended up getting...
Real. And this time, they seemed to want to go after her. Police allegedly acquired a Ring camera video.
Oh, so now they have what actually... Oh, so this is how she got caught.
According to reports, this...
Yes, however, Ring camera footage appears to show Henderson let herself into the man's house, and police have said there is no indication she was encouraged to go in, let alone film. No, if I recall correctly, the guy that ordered the food said to leave it at the door, and she basically did... This is basically breaking and entering.
Ring camera video allegedly contradicts Olivia's story that the door was wide open when she arrived. While I obviously haven't seen the video myself, if reports are true, there may be...
And the fact that she left it, well, I don't know.
A video clip showing her tampering with the door or possibly opening it further than it already was to film this guy. Oh, and the cops don't think she was sexually assaulted. This is
she wasn't.
What they had to say about her TikTok video and the claims in it. The Oswego police said the video, along with the subsequent investigation, indicates that the male was incapacitated and unconscious on his couch due to alcohol consumption.
Okay, so he was drunk.
The video was taken from the exterior of the male's residence. The DoorDash driver subsequently posted the video to social media where it drew significant attention.
Yeah.
It was further discovered that the DoorDash driver had made claims of being sexually assaulted during this incident. The investigation of the Oswego Police Department determined that no sexual assault occurred. The male depicted in the video cooperated with police and provided a statement.
All right.
And apparently a prosecutor thinks it's enough to charge her. On November 10th, 2025, Livy Henderson was arrested and charged with 2 Class E felonies. Unlawful surveillance in the 2nd degree and dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image in the 1st degree.
Yep, that's 2 things.
Each charge has a potential penalty of up to 4 years in prison. She was processed and released, given an order to appear in court at a later date. How the tables have turned.
And let me guess, she still thinks that she's a victim.
On December 4th, 2025, she was formally charged and reportedly pled not guilty. After this, she was let go on her own recognizance. Her next hearing is scheduled for January 20th, 2026.
Wait a minute, that literally happened a few days ago. What was, no, I want to see, when was this video uploaded? No, when was this? The 12th? Oh my god, this hasn't happened. Oh my god, as of the making of this video, it hasn't happened. Oh no. Are we gonna have to look up and see what happened from that?
It'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out, but given the fact that the guy was in his own home...
There might be an AI Pixar video about it.
I really think she's going to struggle to find a way to justify her behavior in filming him, you know, even if he was sleeping naked. Bro, I mean, his balls were out, but it was in his house. It's like Castle doctrine for your nuts.
Pretty much, yeah.
There I was, at the doorstep delivering...
Oh, here we go. This is a reenactment circa 2024, no, 2025. Colorized.
Bring the customers food, and out of nowhere, I was assaulted. Pushed to the ground like a rag doll because their chicken tenders were cold.
Oh no! Well, I'd be pretty upset too if my chicken. Well, I wouldn't be that upset. I'll be like, oh, these are cold. But
my back's blown out. I'm bruised up and traumatized. I need justice, but where do I turn? Looks like our friend here has found out the hard way that the customer isn't always right. But fear not, Morgan & Morgan.
Okay, all right. That's a really nice segue into an ad. But if you want to check them out, you feel free to do that here. If you want to check this, anyone watching this, you can check the QR code. Chicken! Yes, Ed from Ed and Nettie loves chickens, Eddie.
The QR code on in the face with a bag of chicken tenders. Back to the video.
All right.
Drunken DoorDash driver brings a gun after getting no tip.
Okay. I mean, here in the U.S., we have, like, big tipping culture. A lot of people make, like, a lot of their wages tend to come from tips. I know that where I work, some of my paycheck comes from tips. But I do note that there are some places like Japan. Some places like Japan don't have a tipping culture. And if you try to tip to them, then they get very confused.
On May 27, 2025, at a residential home in Vancouver, Washington, 59-year-old DoorDash driver Robert Delahant had dropped off an order for
same here, Brett.
$100 worth of groceries to a 19-year-old woman. He didn't realize it at the time, but when he checked many hours later, to the man's dismay, he got no tip on the order.
Oh, no.
It's reported the reason he didn't get a tip was that the woman had ordered the groceries using her SNAP government benefits card.
Is it so?
And paying through SNAP, you're not allowed to tip through it, so the guy didn't get anything.
Is that actually a thing? I don't actually know how SNAP benefits work.
Furious about not getting any kickback from the $100 delivery, the next morning at around 10 a.m., a tipless and pissed off Robert made the choice to return to the residence.
Oh, there's no way.
And confront the woman.
Oh, hell no.
Pounding on the door and demanding his tip in cash. The woman claimed to have had no such.
I mean, I can understand being upset by not getting a tip if you work at, like, a restaurant that gets very, very busy, and sometimes you might have to deal with, like, disgruntled customers, and sometimes they might make you cry or whatever, and so if you don't get a tip and you work hard, I could understand being mad, but I don't know. But if you're going to be that angry about it. But if you're going to be that angry about it to go to this person's house, yeah, no thanks.
Leave a tip for him on a separate card if he wanted. It seemed Robert was adamant on a cash payout, though, and refused to leave without the money in hand. The guy might have also been drunk. Robert.
Oh no, and I'm guessing he drove all the way here. Loud, aggressive, and reeking of alcohol.
Was described as being loud, aggressive, and reeking of alcohol by the young woman who had answered the door. As this verbal confrontation was happening, the 19-year-old's father, 55-year-old Anthony Volino, was sitting at the kitchen table eating breakfast with his grandkids, and he overheard the confrontation, prompting him to intervene. Approaching the stranger at his door, Mr. Volino considered giving the guy a tip just to get him to shut up and go away.
No shit.
But when the driver leaned into the door frame, this spurred Mr. Volino to press his hand on the Dasher's chest out of instinct.
No, I don't. Some customers can be disrespectful. Yep, pretty much. But in this case, it's the guy that's working that's being disrespectful.
From here, things escalated quickly as the father and DoorDasher started with harsh words and evolves into a scuffle.
Oh, no.
According to Mr. Volino, Robert gestured towards the back of his waistband as if he was reaching for a weapon. Fearing the worst, Volino grabbed Robert to stop whatever he was doing. And
armed suspect demands delivery tip.
And that's when Mr. Volino felt exactly what Robert was reaching for.
Oh, my God.
It was a gun.
Oh, my God. He was going to... if he didn't get his tip, he was going to shoot that man's daughter.
I stepped to the left, and I reached behind
Dad.
Steel in his waistband. And as soon as I felt that gun in his waistband, like my heart just sank.
Good Lord, imagine how... No. I mean, I can understand being upset that you didn't get a tip, but to go to someone's house and attempt to shoot them... No. Fuck that.
The only thing on my mind was, I have to get this gun away from him.
Yep. Dad.
I struggle for my life at this point. That's what I'm thinking. It's me or him.
With his gun snatched and pockets still tipless, the embarrassed Robert would drive off as the Volino family called authorities.
Possibly drunk, yeah.
Vancouver police arrived shortly after and would also catch up with Robert, the former gun-toting Dasher.
Yep.
When asked why he was threatening these people and what he was reaching for, Robert claimed that he was only attempting to warn Mr. Volino that he was armed as like a friendly disclosure.
What the hell kind of excuse is that? Officer, I went to this person's house armed in order to tell them that, yeah, I'm armed. What kind of excuse is that?
Yeah, I'm sure he had no intent on pulling a gun on him. It wasn't an intimidation.
It was just he was just trolling. Don't you know that that's just some typical trolling?
Intimidation tactic or anything, right? The man would be arrested for felony harassment, a DUI, and assault.
Yep.
Despite completely dominating in the altercation, Anthony was a bit shaken up from the interaction.
I'd imagine I'd be pretty shaken too if someone were to threaten a family member.
He was happy the guy had been taken in.
Yeah.
I could have been shot. The kids could have been shot. If he would have got his hands on that gun, somebody could have gotten hurt.
Yep.
I still can't believe it happened.
The spokesperson for DoorDash told KGW that the company has a zero-tolerance policy for harassment of any kind. What happened was unacceptable, and the Dasher involved was immediately deactivated.
Snoop Dogg.
Okay, and here, Snoop Dogg doxes every... oh my God, I'm excited for this. Do I have... No, I need a... Oh my God, I need an MLG... I need an MLG soundbite. If you saw... You'd be scared, because you might shoot... Yeah, no one has ever tried to do that. No one's ever done that to me. I mean... Yeah, I mean, in the event that someone was to try to break into our house or something like that, and if I were living on my own and someone would try to do something like that to me, I'd do everything in my power to make sure that not only am I defending myself, but I'd be sure to dispatch them, so to speak. Like, anything can be a weapon. For example, I was going to say this weapon, but I'm not holding any weapons unless you count a water bottle. I mean, technically you can use your clothes to subdue someone, or even to, like, your nails, just punch them. Your body is technically a weapon.
Cox's delivery driver. This is a story where it's actually the customer who's the asshole.
Okay, no, you were mentioning that, Brett. Some customers can be disrespectful. I guess that's what's going on here. But what the hell does this have to do with Snoop Dogg?
On January 27th, 2022, an Uber Eats driver named Saeed was sent to what has been described as an industrial area in Inglewood, California. When he arrived at what he believed to be the destination, he didn't see a customer anywhere. He tried getting in touch.
Oh no, was this a Craigslist killer kind of thing?
With them, but they didn't respond. So Saeed waited for 8 minutes, which is a protocol for Uber Eats, and then he canceled out the order. It's routine bullshit that delivery drivers have to put up with.
I bet. Either wrong address or something else.
However, what Saeed didn't know was that the customer he was meant to deliver this food to, well, it was actually Snoop Dogg.
There's no... Oh, it was Snoop Dogg? Oh my God. There's no way. And Snoop Dogg tried to dox this guy? I don't know. That's not very... I don't. If you ain't up on thing. I mean, that sounds pretty gangsta. I'm not gonna lie, knowing that he's a gangster rapper. But I'm just saying, man. No, I guess the kind of kush that he'd be getting high off was not as good as it could have been.
Snoop found the order canceled. Well, the renowned pothead threw a tantrum. Snoop Dogg.
Yep. Good lord.
To Instagram to rant about this.
Uber Eats, where is my food at? Because la da 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 da. Where is my food at?
Cancellation in a now deleted video showing his exchange with the driver.
Okay. And fucking motherfucker Uber Eats. Come on. Come on, Snoop. You're better than this. Even I know that, damn it.
Motherfucker, where my food at?
Where's my food at, motherfucker?
Here you can see the messages with the driver writing, "I've arrived" at 10:41 p.m. and then writing "hello" and "please call, not sure where to leave your order" and "hello."
Yeah, and this is technically Snoop's fault. The Snoop Dogg is the one to blame here because he should have known that if it's not confirmed in like 8 minutes, they got to cancel it.
At 10:49 p.m. At this point, the 8 minutes was up. Saeed writes, "This is not a safe place," and he cancels the order. And then after like 10 minutes pass, Snoop Dogg replies saying, "Yes, it is. Pull up to the gate. The black gate, and drop off the food I paid for." And he later says, "Where's my food?" In the caption of this post exposing the Uber Eats driver.
Oh, the address is the...
Snoop writes, "Uber Eats, where my food at?"
Where my food at? Postmates holla at me.
Postmates holla at me. The call-out video from Snoop would accrue over 4 million views and 12,000 comments.
Well, I'm sure it would, given, it's Snoop Dogg.
It was being covered on numerous media
outlets. This is not a safe place. Snoop Dogg calls out Uber Eats driver, cancels delivery. He responded in a hilarious Instagram post.
Because, well, Snoop Dogg was fucking blasting a random dude on Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Though Uber would almost immediately cuck to Snoop Dogg.
Okay, yep. If it's a high-profile celebrity, now you gotta blame... Okay, so now the Uber driver is the victim. He actually is the victim, unlike the DoorDash lady.
Putting out this statement, quote, "We truly regret Snoop Dogg's frustrating experience. We have reached out to apologize and refunded him for the order." Uber Eats was happy to affirm the dog, but others weren't so accepting of his behavior.
Yeah.
It's pretty uncommon for Snoop to end up on the wrong side of public opinion, but this
it's not very common at all.
Quickly appeared to be one of those cases, with many criticizing him for not only blasting a struggling food delivery driver, but for also being a shit customer and not responding to
Yeah, you gotta call him out, bro.
In a timely manner. It was Snoop's fault if you actually look at the receipts.
Yeah.
Quote, "You took 8+ minutes to reply. Your fault." Well, he tried.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is playing the victim card in this case.
Tried to give you your food. You answered late, and he didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
You waited 8+ minutes.
I probably wouldn't feel safe too if it was just dark and there wasn't anything there. I wouldn't have known it was Snoop Dogg's whatever the hell he lives in.
There's a limit on wait. Time is money. Uber Eats ain't no charity.
Yep.
Saeed was mortified by the exposure as it meant that he was now on the radar of Snoop Dogg's fans and some of his personal details were actually leaked in that video.
No, the Snoop Dogg is going to instigate a rap beef against Zaid.
Is not a good combination of things. Snoop Dogg's video revealed the man's first name, his photo, and apparently his license plate number.
Oh, hell no.
And when the driver saw the clip for himself, he felt as if his safety had been compromised and that people were going to come after him. So far, we only heard Snoop Dogg's side of the story, but Saeed's plight eventually got the attention it deserved as sympathy grew for the man.
Yep.
A YouTuber known as Rideshare Professor would get in contact with Saeed, the first person to do so. In a video regarding this incident, the professor claimed that fans of Snoop Dogg were able to use the plate number shown in the video and cross-reference it and find where Saeed's address was. And then people went there and allegedly threw stuff at him and his kid.
Oh, no. Okay, so, yep. Yeah, that's...
Hip-hop or whatever musician threw him under the bus and outed him and put his number plate out there. And little do people know that people acted on that number plate. And
Snoop Dogg is indirectly responsible for the harassment that Zaid is receiving.
Went to his hood and threw stuff at him and his kid.
And his kid also. Good Lord.
Right?
That's awful.
That's what happens when you foolishly expose someone or put the address or put the number plate out there.
Yeah.
There are people that act on that. There are thugs that act on that.
The professor also promoted a GoFundMe.
Oh, damn. Even a GoFundMe was made.
Saeed in this video. The goal of which was to raise funds for hiring an attorney and seeking legal recourse against Snoop and potentially others. Thanks to rideshare professor, Saeed's platform would expand. And just 3 days later, on the 25th of February, the news media outlet CBS LA would cover his story in a segment where they spoke to the driver. In the segment, Saeed just expresses that he was concerned for his family's safety after Snoop's video. And he's not shy about expressing his frustrations regarding Uber Eats sort of taking the side of Snoop here. Which, if you ask me, is exactly what they were doing.
It had a major impact on this guy, the Uber Eats driver who was trying to make that delivery.
There's a picture there, and also there is a first name.
Saeed, who didn't want to use his last name, believes the rapper may have compromised his safety by posting the video to his millions of followers because it shows his name, photo, and license plate number.
After I see the video,
yeah, if that happened to me, it would definitely be, you guys would be the first to know about it, honestly.
I'm kind of like, you know, I have like a high anxiety, and I fear for my family safety. I contact the customer many times, and I follow
Yeah, he did. All he was doing was following the protocol.
Protocol by the book.
Yeah, by the book. You got to do the cooking by the book.
I just felt it's not fair because I am the one that deserved an apology from the Uber Eats, not the Snoop.
Not the Snoop. Yeah, he faces a lawsuit. Oh, man.
Of all of this, there were rumors that Saeed had plans to file a lawsuit against Snoop Dogg.
He's not winning against that. I don't think Saeed has the money for it.
Snoop never apologized for blasting the guy.
Bitch, apologize.
And in all likelihood, he probably felt like he was the victim in this situation.
Of course he did. It's Snoop Dogg.
Hunger does weird things to people, especially when you're high out of your mind.
Yep. Yeah. I guess whatever the hell kind of kush he be doing, as I said before.
I've seen no evidence of the lawsuit, and if I was to guess, I'd reckon Saeed took the GoFundMe money and went on with his life. Fair play.
Hopefully.
Grubhub driver plows woman over social.
Oh no! And here is social. Of course. Of course, it's social. And let me guess, this was during the height of COVID, because I know that COVID caused a lot of things to happen within the world. Like, obviously, COVID basically popularized things like Grubhub and Uber Eats and DoorDash and all that, because nobody was able to leave their house unless you, like, worked in that kind of industry. And then it also led to the rise of, like, streaming services being more mainstream. But no, getting run over because of this? Hell no.
Social distancing dispute. This is 24-year-old Bijan Choya Early. She's an employee of Mrs. T's Southern Fried Chicken in Northside, Chicago.
I'm going to avoid making a joke about that.
As a matter of fact, she's also the owner's daughter.
Okay, then.
She'd become a victim while trying to uphold social distancing protocols at the restaurant. In the midst of the COVID lockdowns on May 15, 2020, a Grubhub delivery driver, 30-year-old Amir Mohammed, was picking up an order from this establishment. But when he walked to the store, he was told by Bijan and her mother that only one customer was allowed in line at a time. And that he needed...
I know when I first at my first job, like, yeah, I worked at a restaurant and the dining room was closed for like over a year.
To wait in his car. This system infuriated the driver.
Of course.
He refused to budge and stood against the establishment's front door, telling both Bijan and the mother, Anjanita, that he wasn't leaving. Reportedly, as Amir finally decided to leave, he gave him something to remember, turning back and kicking the door before finally going to his car.
Jackass.
This naturally pissed off the mother and daughter team, who in return followed him outside and approached the vehicle in order to get the driver's license plate number to report this dude.
I bet. No, that's borderline. Well, from what he's describing, I don't think the door ended up, like, breaking. It looked like a glass door, but who knows? It could have broken.
To police and Grubhub. As things escalated, the driver threatened to...
And then he's about to...
down Bijan if she did not move from in front of his vehicle. And this was a threat he followed through with, as Amir would strike Bijan with his car, running her down, and then quickly escaping the scene north...
Oh, hell no! No. Oh, yeah, we saw this in the preview of the video, but it's still just as impactful as it was.
The victim's mother, Anjanita, would later tell the news media this.
I was so scared. I've never seen anything like this. It was just like something crazy out of TV. It was like surreal. It just... I don't know, I thought he was going to kill my baby.
Footage from a bystander was taken of the incident, capturing the moment Amir hit...
Oh my god, no, it still hits. God damn it.
For Bijan, there was a nurse nearby who tended to her injuries and got further assistance.
Well, at least she got her the help she needed.
Bijan was taken to a local...
God damn it.
...hospital. There, doctors determined the vehicle collision had broken both of her arms and legs, had a
Oh.
broken pelvis, and suffered significant nerve damage.
Oh, man.
While her injuries were not life-threatening,
All right, good night, Brett.
she was reportedly put on a breathing machine and sedated due to being in so much pain.
Damn.
A day later, on May 16th, Amir turned himself in and was charged with 3 felonies.
Yeah.
1 count of aggravated battery using a deadly weapon, 1 count of aggravated battery causing great bodily harm, 1 count of failure to report an accident causing injury, and 2 misdemeanors.
Yep.
1 count of leaving the scene of an accident and 1 count of driving without a license. He'd be given a $5,000 bond and left jail a few days later, though
Huh.
he was required to wear an electronic monitor. In a twist of
Yep,
events,
there you
when
go. That's what you get.
Grubhub was contacted, they revealed that Amir was not in fact a Grubhub driver. He had
Oh, no. So this is like stolen valor almost. Not quite, but you know.
never been contracted with the company. This guy didn't even have a valid driver's license and
So he was lying about his affiliations.
fraudulently used another contracted driver's account, which may explain why he left so violently in the first place, as he didn't want to get caught without a license. Grubhub would then reveal that the driver who had lent out their account to Amir was now permanently banned from
Oh, so he was using someone else's account.
the
Okay.
platform. A month later, Bijan filed a suit against Amir and Grubhub, alleging negligence, saying Grubhub allowed Muhammad to, quote, access its platform and operate as a Grubhub driver. There haven't been any recent updates on Amir's sentencing or this Bijan lawsuit. To make matters worse for this family, Miss T's shut down in April of 2022.
Oh, no.
I can only hope they get some recourse in the form of these legal endeavors. The delivery
Okay. Not to bring up that guy's last name, but into the depths of Jehannam with you.
driver boob grabber.
Oh, no, of course.
This story serves as a warning to anyone using delivery apps. You never truly know who you're inviting to your doorstep.
Yeah, pretty
On
much.
October 17th, 2023, 23-year-old Treve Gaines was delivering a DoorDash order at the Spanish Lake Apartments in St. Louis County, Missouri.
Okay.
However, when he approached the apartment door, it seemed Treve had more on his mind than just delivering a food order.
I'm sure he dresses like someone who would have more on their
When he
mind.
got to the door of the residence, the customer who answered was a woman garbed in a towel and a...
Yep. That pretty much settles it.
Upon seeing this, Mr. Gaines forced his way inside of the apartment, pulled off the woman's towel, and grabbed her breast.
Yep. Yeah.
Luckily, she
That
was
does
able
it.
to escape and ran to a neighbor's house to call for help. But Gaines wasn't done yet.
Of course he wasn't.
Later, while the woman was still at this neighbor's residence, she would allegedly receive a FaceTime call from an unknown number.
Oh, hell no. It must be that guy, isn't it? I mean, when it comes to, like, DoorDash and Grubhub, sometimes the drivers will use their own phone numbers in order to contact you if, like, your food is there and they have no other way to get to you.
Only to answer it and find Mr. Gaines on camera masturbating.
Son of a bitch! Not to use that twice. No! That's to...
A truly one-of-a-kind degenerate. Mortified, she hung up and called the police about her ongoing nightmare scenario with this dasher. Law enforcement worked with DoorDash and would manage to track this sick fuck down. On October 19th, 2023, Gaines was subsequently arrested, though not without event.
Oh, let me guess.
During his arrest, Mr. Gaines was placed in handcuffs, but managed to maneuver the restraints from behind his back and escape the police.
Oh, hell no.
Making it into his own vehicle. With his cuffed hands in front of him, he tried to put the car in drive, but was not so successful in this effort, and thankfully officers were able to wrangle him before he got anywhere.
Of
I mean,
course.
he probably would have just ended up in a nearby ditch, considering...
You probably... No, if he ended up in a nearby ditch, that would take guts. He would have just spent the night at Denny's.
The fact that he was handcuffed, but it's a good thing they got him. The alleged food app sexual assaulter and masturbator was later charged with burglary, attempted rape, sexual misconduct, and resisting arrest, and he was held at the St. Louis County Jail with a bond set at $250,000 cash. DoorDash put out a statement saying, quote, "We are horrified by this appalling and disturbing event. This is something that no one should ever have to endure, and we are here to support the survivor however we can." Hopefully they did more than offer her a few DoorDash credits. As of now, Mr. Gaines is still awaiting trial. DoorDash driver versus YouTube prankster.
Okay, and let me get... Okay, so the driver is going to be the victim
What
again?
happens when a YouTube prankster
This time,
tries
at least.
messing with a DoorDasher?
Yep, and here it is. Nope. This time, we're going back to that.
Who simply had enough.
Yep.
You get fucking shot, that's what happened.
Okay, wait. Why do I feel like that I might recognize this story?
Tanner Cook is a YouTube prankster and member of the pranking group Classified Goons.
Oh, hell no. No, this guy looks like a internet prankster. This guy looks like a discount Jack Doherty.
Collective team of prank tubers who have been posting videos of this nature on YouTube since May of 2022.
No. Oh my god, no.
Basically,
he looks
Tanner
like
and his
that.
crew are your typical social media
Oh, this guy gonna beat your ass.
troublemakers recording themselves confronting
Oh no.
public areas using zany and immature humor to get a rise out of people and, you know, just fuck with everyday guys that are just trying to live their life.
Fucking, yeah, fucking fake. The knockoff Johnny Somali
Now, there
over
is definitely
here.
an audience for these videos,
The audience is full of shit.
but it is the lowest of the low when it comes to content.
Yep.
So when one of Tanner's pranks turned nearly deadly, there weren't many who came to his defense. It all began on April 2nd, 2023 at the
Okay,
Bulls
let's
Town
see.
Center Mall in Sterling, Virginia, when Tanner was filming pranks in the area, recording and fucking with people in an effort to get reactions.
Okay, and
At
this.
some point, he spotted and approached 31-year-old DoorDash driver Alan W. Coley.
Oh yeah, I think I do recognize
At
this.
the food court at the mall. Alan was in the midst of collecting a DoorDash order, but was stopped by Tanner, who proceeded to mess with him, following him around, pretending to speak in another language while using the Google Translate app to play the phrase, "I think you smell," over
Oh,
and over.
Lord.
Coley had reportedly told Cook to leave him alone and swatted the phone away from his face, but Cook stayed persistent. That was until he found that Alan was not one to be fucked with.
Oh,
After
okay.
attempting to flee the confrontation,
Oh, I'd be pretty peeved too if someone were to do that to me.
Tanner continued to follow him, to which Alan answered by unholstering a hidden handgun, and, well, he blasted his ass.
Yep.
Shooting Tanner right in the stomach.
Oh no, I think I do recognize. I definitely recognize this footage.
What's that? No.
God damn it, no! I would smack the phone off of his hand. Either that or kick him in the balls. No, and there it is.
Amidst the chaos, shoppers and passersby fled the scene, believing the gunshot to be the beginnings of a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Police from the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office arrived on the scene. They cleared out the mall and found Cook outside of it with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. He was treated for injuries and transported to a local hospital. Allen was surrounded and arrested, charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and discharging a firearm within a building. He was taken.
I mean, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine him getting in trouble for like going overboard, but yeah, you shouldn't really be doing that kind of thing, even if they're being like that annoying. I don't think it's worth shooting them.
The Loudoun County Adult
Not unless they were like actively like attacking you or physically hurting you.
Detention Center and held without bond. Cook, on the other hand, underwent surgery, where reportedly his gallbladder was removed. But fortunately for him, it looked as if he was going to make a full recovery. News media
Okay.
outlet WUSA 9 would get an interview with Tanner, who told them that Coley didn't really say anything, that he just pulled out a gun and shot him.
I was just playing a prank, a simple practical joke, and the guy didn't take it very well and shot me.
Coley's public defender, however, painted a different story about the incident, claiming
sure.
that Cook antagonized his client and that Coley was targeted, harassed, accosted, and followed.
Yeah.
During a bond hearing, though, it was revealed that the prosecution was considering issuing charges against Tanner Cook as well due to the alleged harassment of the suspect, but nothing ever seemed to come out of that. But what did happen was a large amount of backlash for the YouTuber, and support for the shooter bubbled up.
I'm sure that would be the case.
Once news began...
When it comes to nuisance streamers, a lot of people want what's coming to them. I mean, I'm pretty sure Johnny Somali is still awaiting trial. And I think that one Russian guy is also, like, is also getting what he deserves as well. And I think the Philippines...
circulating about Tanner's role as a prank tuber, many were relentless in their criticisms against the young YouTuber, saying
Yep.
that he basically got
Just did it. He deserved that cap.
what he deserved. And there were people who Tanner had previously...
Clearly, if they aren't telling you what Tanner Cook's prank was that got him shot by a stranger, chances are it's extremely scummy and deserved. If he knows he shouldn't have been shot, he would have shared the nature of the prank he was filming with the news to gain support.
pranked, coming out saying they had been traumatized by his activities.
Hmm.
The hate became so unavoidable that Tanner's own father would even speak out to the media, claiming that his family was being harassed with messages celebrating Tanner's gunshot wound.
And no, that's something unfortunate that happens with these degenerate streamers, is that sometimes their families get caught in the crossfire, even though their families might have nothing to do with whatever degenerate things that their relative is doing.
And many others believing that he should have died. But of course, Tanner wasn't helping things, as the guy was addicted to online clout. On July 18th, 2023, Tanner would upload a video titled, "I Got Shot."
I got shot. And then Gangstalicious has a song called I Got Shot but then he really got shot and people thought it was part of the act.
Onto his YouTube channel, which of course would become his most popular video, accumulating over 700,000 views. In the video, he would actually return to a mall setting, basically showing his audience how he wasn't going to stop pranking people.
Oh my god, so no lessons learned.
Even dropping merch celebrating his influx of subscribers after going viral for getting shot.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The video would be quite polarizing, given the hate that he was already receiving.
Of
People in the
course.
comments saying, bro, imagine getting shot and the whole internet is rooting for the gunman Lamau.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially with like the whole Luigi Mangione scenario that happened last year.
Perfect example of what happens when a father is not a dad. Imagine getting shot and not learning your lesson. Your parents failed you. Coley would later plead not guilty, saying he acted in self-defense. The trial was held in late September of 2023, where the defense labeled this as a prime example of self-defense, claiming that Coley, who had a concealed carry permit and was a member of the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, felt menaced by the 6'5" Cook during the confrontation. Coley also testified and spoke about the fear that Cook's prank had evoked. Prosecution would argue that this wasn't self-defense.
No, what was the prank in question?
As there was not
Well, actually, yeah, it was something about Google Translate, but
reasonable fear nor imminent danger of bodily harm. Cook wasn't holding a weapon, he wasn't attacking or punching him, therefore there was no need to jump to such measures, they argued. The prosecutor would call Cook's prank bizarre, but again, not life-threatening.
yeah, if that were happening to me, I would never want to take their life, but I definitely would get them to back off.
They were playing a silly phrase on the phone. How could the defendant have found that he was reasonably in fear of imminent bodily harm? On September 28, 2023, after only 5 hours of deliberation, a jury found Alan Coley not guilty in the shooting of Tanner Cook and acquitted him of aggravated malicious wounding. They were, however, split on the 2 lesser firearm counts, deciding to convict him on only 1 count of unlawfully discharging a firearm while acquitting him of 1 count of use of a firearm. Coley's defense attorney believed the conviction on the firearms charge was inconsistent with the law due to Coley's acquittal on the self-defense grounds and asked the judge to set aside the conviction.
So just looking for a balance.
Although he was not guilty for the heavier charge, Coley wasn't free to go and had to remain incarcerated until the sentencing for his only remaining conviction. After the verdict, the media caught up with Tanner Cook and his mother.
We respect what the jury says. They did an outstanding job presenting this case, and we couldn't have had it any better. And regardless of the outcome, you know, the jury's the jury, and we totally respect how our law plays out. And
Imagine having the audacity to look like that around your mother.
was the outcome today, and we respect that.
Good grief.
Just real quick, Tanner, you said you wanted to. What's your message to the people who might have a question about your content itself?
So apparently apparently his mom seems to be on board with all of his prank bullshit.
I don't know. Guess we'll just have to keep watching.
No, I won't.
Probably. We'll see, you know?
How disappointed are you about this?
So I really don't care. I mean, it is what it is. It's God's plan at the end of the day, so.
On December 21st, 2023, Coley would be sentenced to time served, and after nearly 9 months in jail, he was finally free to go. As of today, Tanner Cook has remained true to his word and still posts frequently to his channel.
Okay, so he's still active.
He has about 66,000 subscribers. And well,
oh my lord.
We made it to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys thought about this one down below in the comments section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next.
Okay, yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna clip the whole thing or if I'm only just gonna clip certain parts of it, but I guess we'll wait and see. If anyone's watching the video as a standalone on YouTube instead of on the stream, then you'll be the first to know. Okay, we got through every video that I wanted to look at. That's all of them, which I'm very satisfied about. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be it for this stream. Yeah, tomorrow, the snowstorm around where I live is going to be quite intense. There's going to be a lot of snow tomorrow, so I won't have to work. But I'll definitely use tomorrow to, like, relax a little bit and make some videos from this stream in particular so I can upload them later. And I don't really have anything else to say right now, so thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, leave like, comment, sub, share, and all of that, because Lord knows the algorithm isn't going to push itself, so take care.